lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
In road racing, the 24-hour endurance races are the longest races of the year. Daytona, Nürburgring, Le Mans, just to name a few. In NASCAR, it's the 600 at Charlotte. Well, tonight, it's the Premier Racing League, and they face their endurance race, the second running of the World 400 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And it's on the Global SimRacing channel and iRacing Live. A track that was built in 1960, just 20 minutes north of Charlotte, North Carolina, and multiple Premier Racing League race teams reside in this area. We are back home for the longest race on the PRL Cup schedule. Welcome to the World 400 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's race 15 of the Patriot Fire Cup Series and the third race of the 12-race summer season. I'm Chris Scala. Alongside me is Sean Ambrose. Amjad Yamin is out driving a moped on the Roval. He'll be back here in a few minutes for directing, and of course Dougie Beard on the cameras. Now, Sean, the PRL, they run plenty of 1.5 mile tracks. I did my math earlier. They've done 4 already this season. Okay. However, something is different about Charlotte compared to those others. Tell us about this speedway.
Well, first I'm going to tell you about rolling into town today. Get into Charlotte. Stop by Max Speed Shop. Got some great barbecue and some wings, and Chris even brought you a burger. There's one down there on the end of the desk here when we get a break later on.
10-4.
But, baby, this 1.5 mile track has 24 degrees of banking in the corner, Chris. And it's wicked fast. And we were just talking about the times here in practice. 200 mile on average, almost at 199 and some change as your average lap around here. And, folks, on a mile and a half, this is not a super speedway. This is a mile and a half track. This is the granddaddy of them all. Let's hop on board the GSRC Monster Energy Cup car and go for a ride around Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek. This is the GSRC Chevrolet SS and this is Charlotte Motor Speedway. Fun little 1.5 mile oval, legendary, and does not need an introduction if you're a fan of NASCAR. So, for your hot lap, swinging it real wide through the dogleg, going back down here into turn 1, off the gas a little bit, rolling back into the throttle. If you go back into it too hard, that sign right there on the wall is going to be waiting for you and knock the whole right front right off of the car. Turns 3 and 4, your braking marker. Some can drive it a little deeper. I prefer to let off right about where the dotted lines end. Really seems to let the car get a good set and a good bite into the corner. So, Charlotte, as the run progresses, you might see guys in 1 and 2 only venture way up here into this second and third groove. If it's the daytime, you'll see this. Nighttime, maybe not so much. But you get a great hole shot down the back stretch and can really set yourself up for a good pass going here into turn 3. Turn 3 doesn't quite have the same level of banking or the same grip level, and the high groove just, no matter how hard you try, never comes in. So swinging it down here through the quad oval, completing your line, and that will also complete our track guide around Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
Chris, that was a fast lap around Charlotte Motor Speedway. Buddy, this one, we were talking in the pre-race that we kind of had a star on our calendars for this one. This is going to be a hot one, man.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, what's funny is you mentioned fast. That was in the daytime. We're looking at lap times right now, 27.112. I did my calculating and came out to 199 miles an hour was that lap ran by Tyler Dalton right now in practice. So that just tells you they are off the gas and they are right back on it around this track. It's got so much grip. And this is where I mentioned, Sean, the difference in this track and so many others. You go look at Texas Motor Speedway, you look at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, even Kansas and Vegas. They're kind of slicker. This one's got grip.
Yeah, it really does. And it's got a couple lines of grip, Chris. I mean, you really don't always have to be glued to the bottom line. Now, it helps if you've got a car set up that's maybe a little tight to ride that line. But no, the center of the track here is pretty fast, Chris. And, you've got a couple guys who like to rim ride. And you know what I'm talking about when I talk about that. They find that speed off the very, very top of the track coming off these turns. I think you'll see more of that racing, though, down in that middle and bottom groove, though, tonight.
Well, you know, it's funny about that. I have a league I run myself, and a couple weeks ago we ran the Charlotte race, and the high groove actually came in and was almost a faster line on the long run. So I'm very curious to see if that's going to happen here this evening, Sean. But you mentioned it's 400 miles, the longest race in the Premier Racing League, 267 laps. Halfway point tonight going to be lap 134, where bonus points are going to be awarded from 10 to 1 for the top 10. But, Sean, we got a tight point battle in the summer season right now, not to mention the points all together. Let's take a look at those.
Oh, yeah. Good battle indeed. And pretty tight, as you said. Let's look at the summer standings right now. Very, very close. Ricky Harden sitting there up top, but Paul Pepper right behind him. Paul, the big winner here in the first race of the summer season. Skrupa sitting there 5 points behind. Tim Johnston in fourth, just 6 points back. 7 points back, going to be Tommy Ryan. Tyler Dalton sitting there in sixth. Nick Cohan, seventh. James Krahula and Brian Yazik locked up there for that 8th spot. And then Brett Bucari, the Captain Motorsports driver, sitting there in 10th.
And we were going to talk to Tim Johnston tonight, the 4th place guy in points, but Sean, you accidentally spilled Jamba Juice on our thing, and we had to get it replaced here before the end of the race, so we had to skip the interview so far. But it is what it is. Let's take a look at the regular standings.
We had to get our thing replaced. That doesn't sound good.
No, never good.
Okay. All right, so let's look at the official season standings right now that show Tommy Ryan sitting at the top. Brian Yazik sitting there a very, very close second, and even closer is Nick Cohan, just a point behind Yazik. You see the problem we have here at the top of the points, Chris? It's all locked up, buddy. And then just behind that, you've got another really, really good fight going on between Dalton and Harden, both who are close enough to strike in any given race and be up there in one of those top 3 positions. And then go back to Krahula, Johnston, Skrupa, Carroll, and Bob Bryant, all separated by about 30 points. So your top 10 battle, it's still under 100 points to the leader in the top 10. With plenty of racing left here to go this season, Chris. We're just about getting to that halfway point.
Yeah, and you see Bob Bryant down there at the bottom. He's no longer a fixture in this league, so we'll have a new 10th place guy likely tonight. But that just showed you how well he ran earlier in the season for him to miss, the last 4 races, and he's still 10th in points after it's all over with. So that just shows you how well he's been running throughout. But tonight we mentioned a Fast 5 race. If you go back to Martinsville a few weeks ago, we had 5 drivers there. And basically, the top 5 from Martinsville moved on to Charlotte, where we have those drivers. If they take the checkered flag tonight, Sean, they could win some money.
Yes, sir. Josh Skrupa, Drew Carroll, Tommy Ryan, Brian Yazik, and Nick Cohan all stand to win some money tonight, baby. One of them's got to win to do it, though, Chris. That's the only way. That's the only way they can get some money.
Here's the comparison. Brian Yazik, Nick Cohan, they both won on mile and a halfs already. Texas and Kentucky, respectively. Drew Carroll won last year's World 400. So 3 out of the 5 guys have a win on a mile and a half track here. So we could see one of these guys go to victory lane.
You know, I'm so awful tempted to look for someone out of that Fast 5, and I want a Fast 5 driver to win because there's money at stake. But I got to be honest with you, Chris, I got a feeling it may not be.
Interesting, because we'll get to the Woodshed pick later. You kind of said somebody in the Fast 5, but we'll leave that alone as of right now. Let's go to Keys for tonight as they're on the track getting ready to qualify. Get ready for a lap probably in a 26-second mark. I'm calling it right now. Keys for tonight. Tires, 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 tires. If you're tired of me saying it, tires. That's the key tonight, because I think these things are going to fall off really quick.
Well, and that's where that higher groove that you talked about, Chris, may very well come into play this evening. You know, you may have some teams, some drivers out there and decide that might be the better way to go. Try and get the long run out of these cars. It may very well turn into a fuel mileage race, much like the one we saw Sunday evening. So, Chris, I think tires, 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 hashtag more tires, hashtag give me 4 will probably be the order of the night every time we see a caution flag.
I will put it like this, Sean. Fuel mileage isn't going to win the race tonight. I think you're going to need tires before you need fuel. That's how much they're going to fall off here tonight. But that's just key number 1. Number 2, keeping focused for 400 miles. A lot of these guys run 250, 300, that kind of mile distance. Tonight, the extra 100. Keeping the focus is pretty key.
It is. You turn this into just a little bit more of an endurance race. Once you get past that, let's say 90 minutes in the seat, Chris, and you start pushing it past there, I think any driver is prone to show a crack in the armor, and fatigue can be a big deal. I mean, let's face it, life happens. We're all human. Human conditions can arise while you're behind the wheel, if you understand what I'm saying, brother.
Oh, I totally understand. I think you're speaking of the Seinfeld Euromycetitis. Things do happen. So we got to be aware of that. And then, of course, that last key tonight, the Fast Five. Can they win the money?
Well, I think they can. And I was bragging about my old friend Brian Yazik in the Woodshed. Can he win the money? Well, sure he can. Sure he can. And I think he's got a really good shot. But I'm still sold on somebody else. You know what? I'm a big fan of the Fast Five, and I really hope someone from the Fast Five wins tonight, but I don't think it's going to shape up that way.
Well, we're going to see how it's going to shape up right now, Sean. We have hit that time of the night. You did your Woodshed video. If you haven't had a chance, join the Premier Racing League drivers page. That's where Sean does this video where he literally sits in his woodshed on Long Island there, and he makes a pick. Sean, who's the Woodshed pick tonight?
It's going to be James Krahula.
Whoa! Changed it. Go ahead.
He's going to hate me for that.
I say that because you picked Brian Yazik in the Woodshed earlier.
I did, but I know I did it because I knew he wouldn't mind. But you know what? I just got a feeling tonight about Krahula and his chances here.
All right, James Krahula going to be the pick tonight for Sean, and maybe tonight we'll learn that lesson. If Yazik wins tonight, the lesson will be always stick with your first decision, Sean. Just note that. But talk about the excitement tonight here. 400 miles on a track with so much grip as you're watching Tommy Ryan, the pole sitter from the Daytona 300 earlier this year, and a guy that ran pretty well in the SimRacing Apps Grand National Series race Tuesday night. But I think we're in for a wild race of multi-groove racing tonight.
I do. I also think, Chris, I think you're going to see a pretty well-behaved race here. This is a long one. This is a deep field with lots of talent. A lot of these drivers are really seasoned oval drivers, especially 1.5-mile drivers. A lot of them in this series. And I think tonight the cream is going to rise to the top. And I know you may not think it's going to be a fuel mileage race, but I think we may see several green flag runs that present quite a challenge to these guys getting on and off pit road this evening.
Oh, I agree on the green flag run part. I don't disagree with that one bit. The only reason I'm going to say that you're not going to see fuel win this race is I've run my share of the Charlotte races this past week and stuff, and obviously we've seen it broadcasted here on the Premier Racing League on the Global SimRacing channel. But the tires within like 30 laps, if you pit and you come back out, you're almost 3 seconds faster than the leader.
Yeah, and we're going to have to keep an eye on that. We're definitely going to have to keep an eye on that because I think your point's very valid right there. I mean, if we're talking about a 3-second differential, getting the car in as quickly as possible is going to be, as soon as the fall off, everybody's got their number that they're comfortable with, and once you get outside that number as far as time that you're losing, it's time to bring it in. So this decision is going to have to be made on the fly. We'll, like I said, we'll keep an eye on it. But the qualifying times right now just insane, Chris.
I got the time right here in my hand for the pole lap. And I'll give it to you here in a second as we take a look. I think it's about that time to give away the MP3 Designs Pole Award winner. It's going to go to the 24 of Thomas George, a lap of 27.075. So he just missed 26 seconds. At speed here, Sean, you ready for this? 199.815 miles per hour around this track in a stock car. I mean, you're pretty much off the throttle, right back to it on getting to the straightaway here. You're hitting speeds of probably 205 down the backstretch here.
Crazy to be exact. 204.1 was his top speed on that qualifying run, and very, very impressed with Thomas George's run here on the MP3 Designs Pole Award. Let's just say, based on his message he put in there in the chat, I think he was a little surprised himself with that run.
Now, I will say this also, Sean, a little trivia fact for you. Back in 1994, it was on May 29th, 1994, a young man driving the number 24 car had not won a race in a year and a half. His first career win came that night at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the 600. From the pole, it was Jeff Gordon in the number 24.
I thought you were going to let me guess.
Well, I think since there's only been one guy that's ever driven a 24 before Chase Elliott, I think I kind of gave that away.
Yeah, you might have tipped your hat on it. I do remember that. I actually remember it well, Chris. That's quite a memory, quite a NASCAR memory. Memories will be made tonight. I have a feeling, man. This is, we made some memories at Talladega, or I say we did. The guys here on track did. I think we're going to get another opportunity to see a great run, great finish this evening.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, we're getting ready to go down to the national anthem here in just a second. But before we do, obviously, we had Memorial Day this past week. We want to definitely send a big thank you from all of us here at the Global Sim Racing Channel to all the veterans who have fought for us in this country and all those who are fighting for us currently. We think about those who have we've lost, obviously, in the battle to keep us free in this country. And we definitely say thank you to those as we rise for the national anthem. And back at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the World 400, a Fast 5 race about to be underway here in about 35 seconds or so. We will grid. Thomas George going to be on the pole with the MP3 Designs Pole Award. And I'll have to check and see if that's a track record here for the Premier Racing League here. But 27.075, as I mentioned, just shy of 199.9 miles an hour. He will start on the pole. Alongside him, going to be Jeff Ward, who almost won the Grand National race Tuesday night.
Yes, sir. And then you've got Tyler Dalton and Josh Skrupa sitting there on row 2.
Yeah, Skrupa has been one of the hot guys the last couple of weeks here. Got that win at Martinsville, second at Richmond, and had a good run last week at Talladega until the wreck. But Captain Motorsports locking out row 3, Brett Pancari, Jonathan Shipman.
Row 4, Troy Haight, Jonathan Cadell.
Nick Cohan going to start inside of row number 5 alongside the man that he's got to break the slump tonight, Michael Krolbach, who, unbelievable what he's been through tonight. He deserves a good run.
All right, go to row 6. It's going to be Brian Yazik and Gregory McDougall.
Adam Jersky, Beef Jersky, going to start inside row number 7 alongside Devin Cannon.
All right, row 8, Ricky Harden, Tommy Ryan.
Woodrum Hahn, he'll start inside of row number 9. The third Jonathan of the night, Jonathan Lawrence, starting 18th.
Row 10, going to be Travis McQuiston and Drew Carroll.
Taking a look at row 21 of this pretty big field tonight, over 35 cars, it looks like. Starting in the 21st position, Jeff Ryan, one of his rare appearances here in the 88 car tonight, alongside Randy Oakham.
Row 12, Joshua King, Calvin Filarski.
Brett McBride, who had a tough run last week at Talladega, lap 2 getting collected, and Tim Johnston, who's been a pretty hard runner here this season so far.
All right, and then row 14, Justin Rodden going to start 27th tonight. James Crahula coming all the way from 28th.
Murph making a return tonight. Matt Murphy starting there 29th alongside Rich Jetty.
Okay, row 16, DJ Beverly, Gerald Livingston.
Taking a look at, listen to the chat here, row 17, Norman Peltier to third and John Wilco. And in the final row, Snoop Doggy Don, Ronco back from vacation, and Stephen Herring going to round out the 36-car field. This is, I'm trying to think, this is probably one of the bigger fields, if not the biggest we've had all season.
Yeah, got a good field tonight. 36 drivers ready to scream off here and get this 400-mile race underway. 267 laps this evening. Going to be a little bit of a marathon. I'm ready to go. I hope everybody here watching is ready to go. This is going to be fun and fast.
It is going to be fast. And the one thing, again, to watch tonight going to be these tires. I continue to say that. The tires, I think, are going to be something to watch tonight. The fuel mileage, I think you're going to see some green flag pit stops tonight. The question is when. Of course, you got the halfway point at 134, the 200-mile mark. That is going to be the bonus points being handed out there. So you almost want to strategize. You're almost, with this distance, Sean, running 2 races in one.
Yeah, really, and you know, that's really kind of what you have to do. Is you have to take it in segments. Again, this is a little bit of an endurance race here. It's a mini enduro, if you will, and you've got to segment this thing and take it a little bit at a time.
There's definitely going to be one interesting race as they come down the back straightaway here. Is underneath the old big giant screen there. Weather tonight, perfect. No rain in the forecast. Virtual rain, that is.
Yeah, we haven't had to cancel one of these yet due to rain.
Ain't that good news? But what is good news, Pace Car is going to pull off, Sean, and get ready for one long night, but we're ready, buddy.
Yes, sir, we are. Here we go.
Pace Car in 267 laps with Thomas George, Jeff Ward on the front row. George is on it, and Jeff Ward doesn't go. And we're already 3 wide. Whoa,
3 wide. Yikes.
Now, the good news in these Cup cars, you're pretty much wide open all the way to turn 3. So you see that inside line is going to go, and Jonathan Chip is going to fill the bottom. He's like, hey, why not? And Scrupa thinks better of it. Cadell almost making contact, or Shipman, I should say, with the 19. And lap 1 led by Thomas George. One car started on pit road there, I believe. I see Tommy Ryan is on the backstretch right now, so I'm not sure if he started on pit road, but Calvin Filarski, another one. But a couple cars starting on pit road here tonight. Interesting decisions there. Interesting
indeed. Maybe they thought the start of this race might get a little hectic. It very well still could, but yeah, that's going to get them. That's going to get them here off pace here, real early, or I should say, off cycle with everybody else.
And for the lead, Highline, Jeff Ward. Breaking at 89, he was a fast one in the Tuesday night Grand National race. He led the most laps Tuesday night. Unfortunately, did not come home with the win, but he's going to pick up where he left off using that high line, and he should clear Thomas George off turn 4. Maybe not. Okay, he cleared him. Now, here's the one thing, Sean, I bring up. I know this is a long-distance race. We're running 400 miles. But you shouldn't treat this race any different than you would any other Patriot Fire Cup Series race. There's no difference other than the laps.
No, not really. I mean, But because it is a long race, I mean, you plan on the. Let's face it, you plan on attrition early in the race, okay? If you can be away from those problems, ride in the back, you'll get spots by nature of that attrition. You'll also get spots by nature of the pit stops starting the cycle. So, I don't know. There's a couple of different ways you can look at it. If you're someone like Jeff Ward, got a great qualifying effort, well, guess what? I'm nailing it. I'm going to fight the clean air. That's where I want to stay. Any of those cars, let's say in the top 10, with a really good chance to fight that had good qualifying times, are probably going to ride back there. Being in the middle of this hornet's nest, I think that's the place you don't want to be right now early.
No, you don't. You want to be in Tyler Dalton's seat right now. Inside, Thomas George going to take the second position here, at least off turn 2. Of course, they're going to battle side by side down to straightaway. And where I was going with that is I look at Fularski, I look at Tommy Ryan, and look at John Wilco being separated from the pack. It's like, did they start on pit road? It's like, why would you do that now and not in any other race? That's only my thinking to it. But that time across the line, I think it was a dead heat. George, it looked like, was second that time by, but Shipman right there kind of riding behind him in that 23. This is the product of Charlotte, the side-by-side racing. No VHT needed here.
Yeah.
Thomas George, good run there off 4. Shipman's like, please, somebody.
Boy, I got to take Chris back here in 8th spot. Jonathan Cantell holding it down right now, but this pack he's got behind him pretty intense. Troy Haight, Nick Cohan, Brian Yazik, all right there, all looking to try and get around. Stepped in line right now. They're line astern back there. We got Drew Carroll making a move on the inside of Adam Jersky.
Yeah, last season's World 400 winner right there in that 87. Drew Carroll looking underneath Jersky, and you see that battle is all the way back to the 13th position right now, as most of these guys pretty much single file already. Just logging some laps, and just very curious to see how this green flag run goes. Right now, it's already gotten, knock on wood, a pretty green flag look.
Ooh, side-by-side action up here with Krobach, and Skrupa. Ooh, Skrupa running it really wide. Gets really close to the wall there.
Yeah, I think Krobach is just biding his time. He's up here in a safe area, he feels. Even though he's been in a wreck in almost every position. We actually joked around Tuesday. We talked about how Krobach's been involved in every kind of wreck. And I said, if anything's going to happen to Krobach tonight, it's going to happen off of pit road with that bump that's over near turn 1. And if you've never run Charlotte Motor Speedway in iRacing, you come off of pit road, there's a bump that if you hit the gas at the wrong time on that bump, it will turn you sideways into the wall.
Going around. Yep, going around. Absolutely.
And I said, that I can see that being Krobach's demise tonight, but let's hope that don't happen. Riding on board with Troy Haight back here. Haight in that 82 car. Made his return just a couple weeks ago here for Season 2. Should mention Calvin Fularski already a lap down actually right now, so he's at the back of this pack, lap down. Everybody else on the lead lap, so 34 out of the 35 starters on the lead lap right now. We did have one car not start, and that was DJ Beverly.
Watching a very patriotic battle here. Ricky Harden being chased by Randy Yoakum. That's 17th spot. Yoakum starting to get a good run at him.
Yoakum in a very interesting paint scheme, we'll just call it. If you've been following social media this week, you know that story. I'm going to leave it at that because I'm not even getting into it. Should mention up front here, Shipman has gone by Tyler Dalton for the 3rd position. He is coming up on the leaders here pretty quickly. That 23 car, that Fred J. Moyer paint scheme looking pretty solid here. Brett Pancari up here in the 5th position here with Michael Krobach. Krobach looking really good so far. I'm knocking some more here, especially for the Krobach family listening. I mean, like I said, we're not biased people up here, Sean, but Krobach's got to have some kind of luck tonight. Got to.
Oh, I'm a fan. I would love to see him.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy, period. Battle back here for the 8th position. Troy Hayes underneath of Josh Grupa.
Yeah, I'm watching that here real closely, and it's door to door.
Got Gregory McDougall back here with him. Nick Cohan, Brian Yazik, Drew Carroll, all these guys here. So I'm going to bring this up, Sean. Remember we talked about time differences already? The pole lap was a 27 flat pretty much. Last time by, I'm going to use Krobach, 28.491. We're already a second and a half off in 15 laps with tires.
Yeah. That's, well, obviously, that's what we talked about in the pre-race, Chris. The wear is significant. But, hey, the trade-off is you get good grip, right?
Oh, absolutely. You get the grip there, and obviously the harder you drive them, the worse you're going to get grip. Or I shouldn't say the worse you're going to get grip.
Yeah.
The quicker the grip's going to go bye-bye, basically.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, well, others don't. I speak English, but not for a pro. Battle for second. Shipman underneath Thomas George here. Thomas squeezing him to the bottom. Oh, Don Runkle in trouble.
Boy.
On back straightaway here. Caution is out. He is hit hard. One other car sitting on pit road. Filarski heavily damaged, I noticed here.
Yeah, Don was back there riding by himself, and looks like he had trouble coming off of turn 2. He was never able to gather it up.
The hard part of the wall there.
Yeah. Tough break for Snoop Doggy Don. Car comes back up into the racing line, though, and that's why you've got the caution flag. We're on board with him here. And it's going to go wrong for him there at a 2. He gets up into the wall and back across the track into that very, very hard inside retaining wall there, and destroys the car.
Tough break there for Don, and like I said, I noticed Calvin Filarski had no nose on pit road, so he must have been involved in a wreck we missed earlier, but Don taking his car behind the wall, so his vacation's going to be a little longer, unfortunately.
And did we miss trouble for Tommy Ryan? Because his car is wrecked, and I'm trying to see what may have happened. Okay.
I'm seeing Ryan on my screen, yeah.
Just a iRacing thing, no problem, we're good.
He might have, I noticed right before they gridded, I noticed he had some issues with the server, so I wonder if that's what's going on maybe. I know one thing, I heard Thomas George over the microphone not happy with somebody. My guess is Shipman, but I don't want to be wrong on that. His car's coming to pit road.
All of them come to pit road? Only car on the track is the pace car.
Well, this is your chance right now if you're in a regular car to get out there and lead a lap. The leaders all to pit road. You're going to see nothing but 4 tires and fuel here on these cars pretty much. I say that, and here comes one car out early. 2 tires for Jonathan Lawrence.
Well, it's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how that works out.
So Lawrence going to come out first, followed by Jeff Ward, the 24 Thomas George, then Shipman. Very interesting strategy on that 66, the red, white, and blue car tonight. Lawrence had a fantastic run at Talladega last week, got his first career top 10 in the league.
This is a really nice battle off the pit lane. It wasn't just here up at the front, but all throughout the field, Chris. Tim Johnston, early in this race now, up 10 spots, comes out in 16th.
Lawrence coming back to pit road, yep. That could be a possibility too. Jonathan Lawrence coming back to his pit stall here. I wonder if he missed his stall. And I wonder if it was one of those purposely, accidentally, oops, I'm just going to drive through, wink, wink, deals. So that'll hand the lead to Jeff Ward here in the 89 car. Thomas George will be second. Jonathan Shipman, Tyler Dalton, Brett Pancari going to be your top 5. You got Michael Krobach up to 6th. Jonathan Goodell 7th. Nick Cohan 8th. Gregory McDougall and Brian Yazik your top 10. Looking at some comers and goers. Troy Haight from 7th back to 13th already. So a little bit of a struggle there for him. Otherwise, not seeing other. Josh Group actually 4th to 25th. So we'll have to check that out. See if Scroop was okay, having some issues there, but needless to say, we should get back to racing here very shortly.
might have, it may have been a penalty that he had to serve there, Chris.
Could be definitely a possibility there, so we'll have to investigate that. But just looking over at chat, which, by the way, you can't chat with us tonight if you're streaming us on the Global Sim Racing channel. You could chat with us there on iRacing Live. We appreciate you watching, and we would love to chat with you. See plenty of people in there. Don Rokel obviously not happy with his finish. Apparently had some contact with Calvin Florski apparently early in the race, which didn't help the situation there. So we'll get one to go here, and we'll get ready to get these boys back a rolling.
Yes, sir, indeed. And Jeff Ward, Thomas George, sure to give us a great restart here. Tyler Dalton sitting up top there on the outside will restart this race. Look for him to make a move to maybe get himself out in clean air here off the start.
All the difference in running those tires how you want to do it, so you could either burn them off early or just try to save them to get through a full run here. We'll have to see, but Jeff Ward definitely looked impressive passing Thomas up there in that high line in the Larson line, as we like to call it.
I used to call it the Montoya line, but, well, obviously he's not there anymore. But anyway.
Larson definitely, he's made it interesting. But yes, I do remember Montoya always running. I can't even say his name anymore. Anyways, green flag back out. Jeff Ward on it. And no 3 wide this time, which is good news. Shipman going to go by Thomas George for the 2nd position. Inside their battle for 3rd, Michael Kromach move him into the 4th position, I should say. But everybody single file all the way back to the battle for 6th, where you have Brett Pancari, Nick Cohan, Yazik, Jonathan Cadell here.
Just absolutely nuts here in the middle of the field is drivers like Ricky Harden, Tim Johnston, and Woodrow Mahan, Drew Carroll all scramble to try to just jockey to find himself a spot, slip in line.
Oh, for the lead, Shipman going underneath Ward. And Ward's going to give it to him, so move Shipman up to the front.
Great move early here by Shipman to get out there and run with the clean air.
Clean air is very important here.
Yes, it is. And all Jonathan's done since he got the green flag to start this race is pick up spots.
And he's worked his way up from the 6th position to the lead. Meanwhile, back here, Yazik underneath Brett Pancari. The winner from Kentucky, the last mile-and-a-half track we were on, starting to work his way slowly through the field. I think we call that matriculating where we're from.
Yeah, Yazik going to be very patient. You can be sure of that, but he's also going to fight for position. He's going to do it here. It looks to pick this spot up right now. Trying to get it away from Brett Pancari and put himself solidly in 7th place. Pancari still fighting.
Yeah, right back there. Battle of the ones here. Cadell under attack from McDougal. McDougal is, he's been impressing me, Sean. I mean, it seems like the last couple of race years, McDougal's kind of picked up positions, has been getting top 10s, and definitely doing his part.
Yeah, and he's fighting well right now. Ooh, almost gets in.
Of course, I say that.
Yeah.
Almost
gets
Yazik.
Brett Pancari.
That's the Hornets' Nest right back here. This is all for about the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Jersky under attack from Carroll.
Well, honestly, that's where Jersky has preferred to run, Chris, has been up in that kind of middle center of the track there, maybe running a little bit higher towards the wall, but that's where he stayed, and he's continued to fight with several drivers, Drew Carroll being the one he's fighting with right now.
Riding on the doorpost here of Jersky. He runs up in that middle groove. I see that 71, and Sean, I can't help. Every time I see a 71, I can't help but think of Dave Marcus. Always ran that number.
Yes, he did. Once a father ran that number for a little bit, and it's actually it's my number in iRacing that I run.
I was going to bring that up too, Sean. The fact that you do run a 71 out there when you league race and stuff, and that kind of thing. But I think of Dave Marcus, and didn't he wear golden shoes or something like that back in the day?
It wasn't gold shoes, but he did wear penny loafers, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, they weren't gold. But anyways, hey, Thomas George has moved up to the second position ahead of Jeff Ward here. So we missed that pass. But George coming back in at 24. Looking to put pressure on Shipman here. We might want to watch this battle here because I think Shipman was the one George was talking to. Anyway, you see the grip these cars have. They are just literally, they're not even close to the wall off turn 4. They're literally just coming off the track, and it's almost like they're running an IndyCar line.
Yeah. You know what? That's a great comparison when you bring up the IndyCar line. It's exactly reminiscent of that.
But give it time. They'll be sliding and flipping and doing all different kinds of things here as we're only, 10 laps into a run here. Hey, how about back here? Your pick, Krahula, going for the 15th position on Woodrow Mahan.
It's a long race, buddy. It's a long race.
I didn't mean that in any kind of negative way, sir. You know me, I'm not a negative guy.
Yeah, no. I just, especially when it comes to endurance racing, right? I always think about how the guys over at Unacceptable Racing
one car up in the wall. Shipman got the wall.
Looks like he might have had a little help, Chris, from Thomas George back to the lead battle.
Yeah, Jeff Ward going to go to the front here, so I don't know if something happened between George and Shipman. We'll have to check here in a second once we get through this battle, though, for the lead. Ward able to hold on right now. Oh, Ward pushing up into George, almost some contact. Ward getting a little loose. That was close. That camera almost took it. And look who's up to third, by the way, Krobach. We're going to go back to this replay here. See if there was contact with the 23 and the 24. I'd say there was. Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of what I saw.
And I can't tell. The Shipman, did he get the wall or not?
Yeah, he got a piece of it.
Yeah, I don't see. I'm looking back at it. He's got some pretty decent damage on the door, on the nose. That's tough break there. But it's racing.
Yes, it is. By the way, Dave Marcus, wingtips. He wore wingtips.
Wingtips. Yes, thank you. I know he wore something besides shoes.
Oh boy, nice battle here. Nick Cohan going at it with Jonathan Shipman. Now that's where Shipman's at now, but Cohan really having trouble passing him. Now he's finally able to complete it. Yeah, he's finally able to complete it. Ooh, Shipman gonna look back down to the bottom of the inside. He gets the door closed on it by Cohan.
You got Cadell right there. Wow! He almost Eric Jones did.
Oh boy, Cadell with a moment there.
And Cadell giving Shipman the boot there.
Here comes Jersky, gonna try and take that spot away. Here's Krahula in the mix now.
Yeah, Krahula coming up there. You got the 12 of Mahan, but Shipman, unfortunately, after that contact with the wall, is going backwards. And then you got Ricky Harden back here in the 15 car, Rhett McBride, those guys side by side for the 15th position. Side by side racing here up about mid-pack, 15th as you're riding on board with Scrupa. He's looking up here like, guys, let's sort this out, please.
Hey, listen, hats off to Shipman, who's still really battling well. Damage on that car is actually pretty good on the right side, and even on the rear end of the car. So he's definitely fighting a car. It's not handling like it was just a moment ago. But he's fighting hard, and he's still holding on to a 13th spot here.
Yeah, he's fighting probably a pretty tight race car, knowing him right now. And knowing him, he's probably fighting a pretty mad attitude right now. He's probably pretty mad. I know Shipman pretty well, and he can get pretty mad pretty quickly. But I know him. He's hopefully keeping his head on his shoulders here and trying to finish this race. But he's got Woodrow Mahan attacking him right now on that bottom side, and Shipman has not given up any track position. Meanwhile, everybody up here in the front starting to get spread out a little bit. Gregory McDougall's moved up to the 4th position. Tyler Dalton up to 3rd. And the leader's not really getting separated here, but we're working on lap number 23 of this run here. So, again, 267 laps tonight here at Charlotte, and halfway is the 134 mark. So we still got a little over 90 laps before we hit the halfway point.
Yeah, and that's a race all in itself, Chris. So yeah, lots of good battles going out here on track. I'm following a couple here throughout the field. Right now, it's Woodrow Mahan trying to hold off Josh Grupa, and Rhett McBride giving a little bit of a bump there to Mahan. Grupa's still battling on the inside. Wheel to wheel. Oh, Grupa's got to get out of him a little bit. That car started to push up the hill on him. Boy, look at all the momentum that Grupa is there.
This is definitely a momentum track here, and you see Grupa falling back to the 15th spot there. But nonetheless, great fighting here. Rhett McBride drives into Mahan. Can he save it? He does.
Pit stop? Pit stop? No? Okay.
Not yet. That was one of those deals where he just drove it in there.
Wow.
Wow, what a save.
Great save. Man,
oh, wow, who got the wall there? Somebody there, I think it was Ricky Harden got the wall off 4.
Was it Brett Pucari that got the wall?
I saw Ricky Harden back here.
Okay.
Mid-pack, here's who I saw get the wall. It was one of those deals where you saw the quick sparks. Shipman looking underneath Ricky Harden here. This fight for the 20th position now. Devin Cannon right there behind him in the 21st position. And Pucari going to give up the spot here in the 39 up here to Jonathan Cadell in the 11. And Cadell going by Pucari, move him up to the 9th position.
Well, going back through the field, Tommy Ryan just took a position from Woodrow Mahan, who continues to steadily fall through the field. I don't think Woodrow very happy with the tires on that car here after 25 laps on it. About 27 laps, and Jonathan Shipman making a move, barreling the inside, battle for the lead up front, Chris.
Yeah, up here at the front, Jeff Ward underneath Thomas George. So you wonder if Ward was just kind of riding, saving those tires a little bit, because like you said, people are probably unhappy with their tires now, and find me a driver at this point in this run that will be happy with their tires, and I'll pay him $1 million, because ain't nobody happy.
Yeah, well, Ward and George seem to be the class of the field right now. They seem to have both cars dialed in really, really well. Tyler Dalton, again, he's been solid. He hasn't left that 3rd spot. Sitting in a really, really good position here to take advantage of any kind of mistake by these two. But, Chris, we're about to hit that 30-lap mark on these tires.
I'm going to pay attention real closely here, because if this is me running the race, this is when I'm pitting. That's just how I've always been a guy at Charlotte. I always take 30 laps to get off these tires and get some new ones on. But right now, I don't see anybody coming to pit road, which I'm a different guy. That's just how I am, period. That's why I don't win a lot.
Boy, Krobach just got passed by Nick Cohan like he was standing still.
Well, I think Krobach is biding his time. I think he's just, logging laps. I think Krobach might be the one guy in this 35-car field tonight, Sean, that's just like, I'm I'm just here to finish. By lap number 50 in the books here, just about to hit that 100-mile mark here in about 16 laps or so out of these 400 miles. Everybody just kind of getting under control here with their cars. Had some contact between some cars, some wall contact earlier, but everybody's kind of spacing themselves out here as Jeff Ward has about a 0.3 of a second lead over Thomas George, Tyler Dalton, Gregory McDougall, Drew Carroll from 20th up to 5th. He's wanting to win some money tonight in that Fast 5.
Time to get a little spaced out and chill, man. That's what I say.
That's what it's all about. Just chill, get some pit stops, get some tires, get your damage fixed or whatever. But
yeah, that pit window is definitely wide open right now. I think any one of these cars could dive in at any second. Now, Chris, we didn't really talk much about the pit entry or pit exit. We're going to get to experience that maybe under green flag conditions here in a moment. It's not easy. It's kind of a little tricky. You talked about the bump on the exit. The entry, very short, very fast entry.
That's no slouch there. Yeah, pit road entry is you got to be very careful because you got to get down to 50 mile an hour. You got worn out tires. You're almost braking in the middle part of the corner to get down there to that pit road line again at 50 miles an hour. And it's not an easy thing to do when you're on fresh tires. But you see Jeff Ward, he is coming up on the lap car of John Wilco in the 62. Wilco didn't start in the pack here on that restart. So slowly but surely, Jeff Ward's starting to catch the pack. But what we're going to do, we're going to step aside, get ready for green flag pit stops here for a quick second. But of course, we go side by side, so you don't miss a thing on the Global Sim Racing channel. Back into Charlotte Motor Speedway, green flag pit stops underway. Pretty much half the field being led. Caution is out.
Jonathan
Shipman.
Big trouble exiting off the pit there, Chris. Doesn't wreck the car, but spins in front of a couple of cars. This is coming out there. Let's catch it on the replay.
He's coming off the back. Oh, you see him get loose there, just trying to get up to speed there. Tries to save it, spins it out, and kept it off the wall. But this is going to be interesting because you're looking at 15 cars now on the lead lap as of right now with these green flag pit stops happening. Wow. We'll have to figure out who the Coastal Safety Auditor's lucky dog will be.
I think we're going to need to figure out where everybody belongs first before we figure that out. This is going to get a little confusing, Chris.
If I had to guess, it's going to be John Wilco. But I'm going to keep an eye here on the 62, and we'll see here. But the rest of these leaders going to come to pit road. Second caution out here at lap number 60. Ward going to bring Nick Cohan, Jonathan Cadell, Adam Jersky, Ricky Harden to pit road. The cars that have not pit are going to come in now, and you're going to see a bunch of wave arounds coming in. And by God, it is John Wilco going to be the lucky dog here. So first, we're going to cover the pit stops before we let Brutus out for his little walk here. We always want Brutus on a clean pit road when he goes for a walk.
Yeah, but he's ready. He's actually foaming at the mouth.
I was going to say, he's more than ready.
Yeah, he's ready.
Race off pit road going to be one. Looks like Jeff Ward, if I saw that correctly. Yep, wins the race off pit road. Nick Cohan going to be second, so out of the guys who did pit. But like I said, you're going to see most of these, if not all these guys, take a wave around to get back on the lead lap. And there it is, John Wilco, Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award. Your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services, Coastal Safety Auditors. And the lucky dog won to John Wilco, who is in the 16th position. He'll get back on the lead lap. But the caution for Jonathan Shipman, who went spitting off of turn 2 on coming out of pit road. He's not had the best of nights so far. He's been rooted a couple times and now spun.
Yeah, well, he does get a lucky break in the sense that he did not hit anything, Chris. So
True.
Didn't need any more damage on the car. Spun it, made the tires a little bit angry, but aside from that, he's still rolling.
And you see the right side damage on that 23 car right now. He's going to come down pit road, get that fixed. But Jeff Ward going to be the leader of this race as this thing cycles all around.
Got a lot of movers and shakers here in the field.
We do. And one thing I do want to point out, while we were in break, we had a little bit of drama on pit road. As always, you mentioned the entry on pit road, Sean. It bit a couple of our front runners. Yeah. Let's start with Tyler Dalton in the 19 car. If we had some Benny Hill music, it would fit perfect right now.
Right. And remember, this is a green flag pit stop. Don't look at the yellow up there.
Woo-hoo.
He's coming in hot. Yeah.
And right behind him, you're going to see the 4 car. Woo-hoo. Who put that oil there?
Corolla avoiding disaster almost gets it into the wall. Yeah, you know, Chris, you talked about it, man. That's that transition, getting down off the track, trying to get down to speed there. The 50-mile-an-hour speed 50-mile-an-hour speed down pit lane.
We know what you meant.
It's yeah. I'll put a little money in the jar there. Yeah, no, that's that's the trick, man. And those green flag pit stops happen, and it's very, very tricky. And you know, the guys behind you, they got to watch out too, man. Because if that happens in front of you, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? You know, do you want to pick up a penalty by running your car through the grass and picking up a black flag or an EOL? You know, it's a risky proposition, green flag pit stops here at Charlotte.
So we just got one to go, and I'm going to really quickly name off all the cars that got wave arounds just now. Jonathan Shipman, Stephen Herring, Thomas George, Brian Yazik, Drew Carroll, Greg Larry McDougall, Michael Krobach, Brett Pancari, Tyler Dalton, Tim Johnson, Rich Jetty, Josh Skrupa, Jeff Ryan, Rhett McBride, Woodrow Mahan, who's on pit road still, Nellerman Peltier, Justin Rodden, and I think Santa Claus. Other than that, nobody else got the waiver out.
Sure, I'll roll with that.
Now for Shipman, he's still going to be a lap down, and Herring's still going to be a lap down. Otherwise, everybody else, the 30 car, still on the lead lap. As the pace car coming off pit road, look at this. You got 6 rows of 2x2, everybody else single file.
Boy, in a lot of trouble with that restart, Chris. Several drivers getting black flags, having them cleared by race control. Bit of a strange restart, but it does show Jeff Ward, Nick Cohan, they're the ones that break away.
And look at Ricky Harden, last week's winner at Talladega, going for third. Oh, Cadell off the track and wall.
Coming across.
Something happened. Wow. In one car in the grass here, Shipman.
Yep.
Wow, he is not having a good night.
Boy, Shipman. Oh, wow. Shipman made an evasive move to avoid Cadell coming across the track.
Oh, wow.
And he overcorrects, puts it down to the grass. Again, no damage for him. Oof.
And there must have been, I think our friend made an appearance on the Cadell deal. Let's take a look here. Oh, there's our friend Netcode making an appearance tonight.
Yeah, let's go on board with Cadell and actually see that. I didn't catch that the first time. You know,
big Netcode and bam into the wall and goes sliding down the track, and then Shipman went for a ride.
Yeah, that's not going to feel good on the right side of that car. You know, go back to the move by Shipman. Good job of avoiding him, but more bad luck for him as he slides down through the infield. So it was not Cadell that actually triggered the flag. It was what happened with Shipman there, sliding down into the infield.
As we hit the 100-mile mark, you'll watch here. Watch out. This is, well, avoiding a wreck pretty quickly. There's the contact. There's the wall. And look out.
Really can't fault Shipman for anything right there at all.
No.
Did a great job of saving her.
You know, it's kind of interesting about those Captain Motorsports cars having issues with the grass on the front stretch. Anyways, cars coming to pit road. Krolbach in. Thomas George on pit road. Most of the wave around cars are on pit road here to get tires. That's what's going on here. And Lucky Doggo, by the way, should get that out of the way. That's going to go to Thomas George, I believe. Coastal Safety Auditors, Lucky Dog. Thomas George, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Coastal Safety Auditors. There's Brutus back out.
Woof. Always good to see Brutus. Because when we see Brutus, that means someone's got another chance to fight. Plenty of fighting left here in this race. 199. This time across the stripe, 198 laps to go.
It's been a very fun race so far. Very entertaining green flag runs, and you know, we've had 3 cautions also.
This should be a good restart here. Everybody fresh, ready to go from, 13th on back, and most of these guys up front on about 7 to 10 laps. You know, let's just call it 10 when we get restarted here, Chris. Should be interesting to see how guys like Yazik and Krobach, Josh Grupa, Tommy Ryan, how they kind of deal with this traffic. The top 13 here, if they look to maybe make a move through the field.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see that, Sean. You got these tires. I mean, they're going to be much newer, but believe it or not, 5 laps is going to mean something with these tires. But Jonathan, and I don't mean too much, but they're going to mean a little something here. But Jonathan Cadell taking his number 11 behind the wall. And apparently drivers are allowed to have phones in their cars during Premier Racing League races. I'm hearing people talking about Snapchatting during the race. Not sure if that's a good idea or not. Well, Brad Keselowski was the first one. He tweeted that photo of the Montoya truck fire at Daytona. And pretty much since then, they kind of outlawed having phones in your cars. And I remember somebody I can't remember who it was. It might even been Kozlowski got fined for having in a car during a practice session or something later that year or something. But let's take a look at your top 10 right now, though, as we get ready to get the green flag here at lap 70. Jeff Ward, Nick Cohan, Ricky Harden, Adam Jersky, Josh King up to 5th, Troy Haight, Devin Cannon, Matt Murphy, Brett Bunkari, Tyler Dalton. Your top 10.
Yeah, and first time Dalton's been out of third place all night. He's going to have to work his way back up here through the field and get himself back in a podium spot. But I like the way this restart is shaking down.
It's going to be very interesting here to see how this shakes out. We've hit the 100-mile mark, so pretty much it's a little less than 300 miles to go in this race as Ward is back on it off turn 4, but Cohan with a good jump. The Texas winner looking pretty good there. Teammates, oh, by the way. Ricky Harden going to clear to 3rd. Jersky falling back. Josh King making an appearance in the top 5.
Ooh,
come on down.
Comes. Got that 35 Oculus car there down on the inside, and boy, Jersky giving a good battle here up top. Jersky going to get that off the turn. Wow, so good run off the turn 4 by Jersky.
So quick question, if that Oculus car has a problem with another driver, would that be an Oculus riff? Just curious.
Yes.
First one, oh, caution.
Oh, boy.
It is
Randy Yoakum.
Randy Yoakum, Jeff Ryan.
Yeah, Jeff Ryan had
and
nowhere
Stephen
to
Herring.
go. Yeah, it looks like you're going to be a little bit of contact here. Yoakum, I think it's going to take a shot from behind. Might have been Norman Pelletier that gave him a little bit of help.
And Randy Yoakum not happy. See here, you're looking at the replay. Oh, he just tagged by Pelletier there. Oh, add Travis McQuiston to the list of cars involved. So 4 cars, it looks like. And that's caution 4.
Yeah, like I said, the 88 had nowhere to go at all. He just right there in his line and was on the binders, 4-wheel lockup, and just slid right into it. Damages the front end of that car really, really bad.
More cars. Here come the leaders back to pit road. Now, if you just pitted, I'm staying out here. Get the track position. But Ward in pit road. Cohan's coming down. Troy Haight coming down. Devin Cannon, Murphy.
Yeah, this was not a unanimous decision to come down to pit road here. A lot of drivers decided to stay out. Looks like 10 of them, to be exact, and everybody else peels in.
And Ward going to win that race off pit road. And taking a look at the Coastal Safety Auto, the Lucky Dog, we're going to put him out one more again. Brute is getting some walking time here the last few minutes, but it should be the 64, I believe, of Gerald Livingston. I'm just looking for him on my screen. I can't find him. This is why I don't direct. But there's Gerald Livingston on your screen.
There it is.
Anyways, your Coastal Safety Auto is Lucky Dog, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. I'm just thankful that I don't control the screens and I just control my own. But anyways, we're going to step away for a quick break. We're going to go side by side as we always do here on the Global Sim Racing channel. The bald and what used to be the beard back with you here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I guess he's the goatee now. Anyway, Sean Ambrose got rid of the Professor Dumbledore look. And, well, I guess you had to when you went out of town on vacation a couple weeks ago. But either way, we got a great race on our hands tonight. Ricky Harden up in the lead. This is called, spacing out time. But Jersky running second right now. Joshua King, Tyler Dalton, Brett Pancari, your top five. Sean, it's been an interesting race here. 4 cautions, 3 within the last 15 laps.
I think we're about to get rid of those caution flags, get back to some green flag racing. Here we go, sir. Let's go.
Oh, no, they're not. Somebody's got booted.
Oh, man.
Big wreck on the front stretch. Somebody anticipated the start. I see Drew Carroll going through the grass. Devin Cannon on pit road.
Well, I think I know where it started. It was a checkup. McDougal might have... Who was in front of McDougal there? It was Troy Haight. I think Troy Haight got checked up. Troy Haight got checked up, and that's where the initial contact started with McDougal in front of him. And
now I'm very curious here, not to cut you off, Sean, how this situation is going to go, because I know iRacing to have a glitch on a situation like this. The cars, which I don't think anybody got past the line, pretty much everybody here gets lapped pretty much when it's all over with. So you look at the cars right now, they're over 3 and 4, stopped like it's a red flag almost, waiting on the pace car. So very interesting situation here.
I think it could create a mess here for these guys. Hopefully not. We can get everything settled here real quickly. That was just, hey man, the accordion was out right there, and one driver jumps it, nobody in front of him goes. What happens? You get cars scrambling all over the place looking for a place to go, and that ended rather tragically.
Yeah, it's a mixture of things. The restart wasn't the fastest, which is totally fun. There's no speed limit for how you restart a race. But when you have a restart where basically it goes on the leader, you got people midfield that try to jump that start with that leader. And the problem is you can't go until the car in front of you goes. It's kind of like being at a stoplight. You can't go until the car in front of you goes.
Well, and everyone has to remember the leader sets the pace, okay? Yes. And you've got to think that way. If you're behind the leader, you've got to remember that. You can't push it too hard, because listen, if you do, and you've got to check up, again, what happens? It's bring out the accordion, let's play some polka music, because everybody's going to be shuffling.
John Candy in Home Alone?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do here, we're going to take you back to the restart here for a second. We're going to go on board with Ricky Harden and just listen in his car, because this just proves the point. He didn't do anything wrong here. He's just running at a normal pace speed here, and they're just piling behind because they're trying to anticipate him going, because he can go anytime from here to the time the green flag comes out. And you see the wreck escalate back behind.
Yeah, it really just turns into madness back there. But a safe place to be on these restarts is definitely up front or all the way in the very back, when you're just kind of laying back, hoping something doesn't happen in front of you.
A lot of cars involved in this one here. When it's all over with. Listen to chat here. You know what kind of people are unhappy? I mean, you're the 5th caution here in 79 laps, which isn't terrible, but
no, it's
when
not.
You've had 4 in 20 laps, it's a problem.
Yeah, it is, and it goes back to that old adage. Cautions breed cautions.
Well, Ricky Harden still leads this race. He was the winner last week at Talladega. We didn't even get a chance to talk about that race last week, Sean, here tonight. But that race with Harden, with Thomas George, Jonathan Shipman, Rick Thompson's not even here tonight, oh, by the way. What a race that was going to the finish.
Yeah. I said it in the my thoughts in the Woodshed today, and almost 4 years of doing the sim broadcasting, I don't remember seeing too many races that close or that exciting at the finish. It's a very, very small handful.
Yeah, if you,
that was one of the best.
yeah, if you get a chance to, when we're done here tonight, we don't want you to leave us. We're selfish. When we're done, get a chance, go into our archives. You can look right there in the Global Sim Racing channel, look up the Premier Racing League, and go watch the finish of last week's Steel Horse Racing 200 Talladega. And you want to know what a restrictor plate finish should look like on iRacing. The closest they could have came up with was last week. When you have 4 cars and 3 of them blocking each other, going for the win, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it really was. One for the history books, indeed. In fact, I've watched the last 3 laps of that race, I think about half a dozen times since we went off the air last week. So,
do I sound any better than I did? No.
No, it still sounds the same.
No, okay. Oh, there go the ratings. Anyways, well, pace car lights are back off here as Harden continues to lead Adam Jersky. And we talked about this off the air just a few minutes ago when we were in commercial there. But how about Jersky and Josh King? Those are 2 names we don't normally talk about being out front. These guys have been up front the last few laps.
Yeah, they have. And, I don't know if it's been the caution, just lucky to be where they're at, but we're about to find out here as we take another stab at a restart here, if they can hang with the big boys up here. It's the top 8 right now, a little bit older tires than everybody behind them, but I don't know, we'll see. They're pretty close. They're only about separated by about 11, what is that, about 11 laps there on
yeah, there's not many lap separation.
11, 13 laps on tires, so may not be as big a gap as we think, but the pace car is ready to peel off here now, Chris.
26 cars on the lead lap. Matt Murphy, the last one on the lead lap. Is Ricky Harden going to bring him down? Let's see if we can get a smoother restart. And look at Tyler Dalton jump the outside on Jersky. I have a feeling I know what water cooler talk's going to be this week in the league. But Dalton jumps up to second for a quick second, and then now back to third, and Thomas George under him for fourth. Ricky Harden got that 15 going out in the lead. Here comes Dalton up to second. Thomas George going for third. McDougall's taking his car behind the wall. Woodrow Mahan behind the wall. Really quickly, the attrition rate picking up as Tyler Dalton going for the lead, and here comes Thomas George with him.
Boy, and didn't take long for Tyler Dalton to get back up here, did it, Chris?
Or Thomas George, both of them coming. Here comes Krobach inside of Jersky for fifth.
Ooh.
Krobach ain't playing games tonight.
No, and he's bringing Jeff Ford with him. Jersky still driving that middle center line. Oh boy, almost makes contact with Jeff Ford. Ford able to keep it down inside.
Oh, Jersky scraping it. But Carr going to go by. Cohan going to go with him.
Yeah, that's going to be trouble for Jersky. That's going to definitely cost him here with speed.
So is it safe to say tonight that we're calling the high line the Jersky line?
Oh, he's the one that's been running it.
I'm just
the one
saying.
that stayed faithful to it, yeah.
I mean, we got to turn as Dalton going to go for the lead here under Harden. He is going to let him go. Thomas George going to go by also. Maybe. It looked like it for a second, so I said so. George going to go 2 for 1. Oh, slides up a little bit there. That's easily done here in Charlotte. Thomas gonna. Oh, but cleared him. Now he clears him finally. So Thomas George finally to the front.
Yeah, and, boy, Jersky continuing to fall back here. Yazik just gets by him. Drew Carroll now fighting for position back there. Really, really tight racing here. Jersky running up to running up the track, brings it back down just outside of Drew Carroll's door. There's Josh Scooper there.
Oh, Jersky getting the wall off too again. But yeah, this is a pack you don't want to be in. You mentioned Krahula in there. Justin Rodden in there. He's been having a pretty solid run tonight at 27.
Oh boy, a little contact there, Jersky and Drew Carroll.
Tightness up here. Scrupa drives it in there. Well, that's one thing you can easily do here. Chart 3 wide.
Oh boy, look at Krahula with the
block. Drew Carroll like, all right, I see what you're doing. Oh, or maybe he said sorry. I thought he was saying something else about the block there. Or the protecting, I should say, the bottom line.
Yeah, no, he apologized. Man, this is a crazy group here. This is, man, this is fun.
Scrupa continue to make his march back up to the front. Going to go inside a Cohan for position. Thomas George starting to stretch it out at 24 car. He's got Tyler Dalton there in second. Michael Krobach now up to third. So Krobach, he has been patient up there in the top 5. I said it earlier tonight off the air, and I still don't want to say what I'm going to say, so I'm just going to leave it alone until later in the race. I don't want to say it. Everybody pretty much single file all the way back to Tommy Ryan and Adam Jersky. You mentioned the fall of Jersky now happening.
Yeah.
Rich Jetty on that inside at 77. Justin Rodden there. There's Norman Peltier.
Man, I'll tell you what, our leader, Thomas George, really throwing down some solid laps right now. Got that gap just about 3/4 of a second over Tyler Dalton.
Yeah, fastest lap that time behind was actually Jeff Ward with a 28 flat and George with a 28.1. Let's watch all the times this time around. See who goes fastest. And from what I'm seeing here, it looks like it's all the way back in 23rd. Gerald Livingston at 28.1. So it just shows you how tight this crowd is of drivers. But a 2.54 from Thomas George, a 2.22 from Dalton, a 2.53 from Krobach as Jeff Ward goes to third past Krobach.
Boy, Yazik, we're on board with Ricky Arden. Giving chase to Michael Krobach. Looking to the inside.
Yeah, Yazik looking inside Pancari here. This is for the 7th spot. Pancari going to give that one away, and here comes Scrupa with him.
Yeah, and Yazik had been trying to set that up for a couple laps, Chris, and finally able to get the job done, able to get Pancari to kind of just get him out of the way and get by, and it brings Scrupa along with him, and that's going to give another spot to Scrupa, working his way back up through the field here. And here comes Krahula. Going to look, yeah, there's Krahula in the mix of the 4, going to try and get it under and doesn't, steps in line, but looks back to the inside as they head through the oval on the front.
And we don't get a chance to, we haven't mentioned Pancari much. I know he's been running up here in the top 10, but he's been the more consistent driver so far out of that, wow, Scrupa scraping the wall twice there. Or actually, it's Josh King, sorry, wrong 5. But I was saying as Troy Hay goes behind the wall, is Ricky Harden, I think, is going to go by Michael Krobach for third, or for 4th, I should say. But riding on board Pancari, he's been the most consistent out of the captain group so far. And how consistent? 2 9ths so far. But Jeff Ward coming up on the back bumper. Tyler Dalton up front here. Ward going to go to the high line here a little bit, try to work it in. The Jersky line, I think, is we've made it become.
The Jersky line, that's right.
Oh, just like that, Ward drops bottom. And Jeff Ward going to second.
Let me direct your attention to this battle between Scrupa and Brian Yazik.
4-5.
And James Krahula in it. Let's add a 4 because Krahula is in that
4
mix.
in there.
Yeah. But Scrupa with another great run on Yazik, but Yazik doing what he needs to do to not give him any chance to get around there. Keeps the car tight.
So, safe to say this is a Woodshed sandwich right here.
Oh,
we
boy.
got the pick that Sean made on Facebook, and now the guy that Sean made the pick on the air passing Scrupa.
Yeah, getting by, and Krahula continues to get that car even further through the field. 21 spots up now, up to 7.
Krahula's been slow climbing. You mentioned that MP3 design. He got another one of those patriotic paint schemes tonight. Looks pretty good. It's always cool to see the red, white, and blue colors out as we had Memorial Day this past week.
Well, Chris, we're about to put 100 laps in the books here, buddy.
Well, that's the good news. The bad news, you still got 250 miles to go.
Yeah.
5 cautions for 22 laps. Thomas George has led the most, I believe. I haven't had a chance to really put up the lap. Actually, I can take a look. I do have him up right here. Actually, Jeff Ford's led the most laps, 48 so far in this race. Thomas George has led 30, so. And you get those comers and goers in a race like this with the long distance, the wrecks. We had the 4 cautions within 20 laps, and now we've been green for about 10 to 15 laps as Michael Krobach has gone back by Ricky Harden for 4th. So I think Krobach was saving those tires. This pack is getting closer and closer together back here for this 6th position here. Ooh! Krahula, Yazik shut the door on Krahula. Also feel. Don't wait to say that. Scrupa on pit road here. I think we have a scheduled pit stop here for the 25.
Coming down. I'll keep an eye on him here, Chris. Scrupa bringing it on down. Slides in. Ooh, he's over the... No, he got it. He's in. He's up. 2 tires. 4 tires. Okay, 4 tires and fuel for Josh Scrupa.
Yeah, you're coming to pit road. You're getting 4 tires pretty much flat, period.
Well, he was the first one to step out and do it. Chris is going to get him off cycle with everybody.
And I'll keep track of lap times just to let everybody know. At 37, Picari going to be coming to pit road. I think we're going to start seeing green flag pit stops. Once one guy comes, bring the rest with him. That's the way it is here in Charlotte. Let's see if anyone else comes to pit road. Picari coming. He's coming pretty hot. I think he's the only one coming to pit road. So 37 and Picari on. And Fred J. Moyer Plumbing Chevrolet. I think Tommy Ryan going to be coming to pit road here. So slowly and surely. Don't call me Shirley, but he's coming to pit road.
Yes, he is. And a lot of cars starting to make that move.
Now, like I said, I'm going to keep track of lap times of some of these guys who are pitting as we start to see the green flag pit stops here. But everybody pretty much running 29-second laps right now. We want to keep an eye. The first car on pit road was the 25 of Josh Scrupa, so we're going to keep an eye on him right now. Josh is down in the 25th position. Last time by, the leaders ran a 29-1. He was a 27-8. And for the lead,
Ward and George going at it.
Ward has caught Thomas. You can see Thomas kind of admitting on the mic, I kind of ran the tires out. And Ward has gone back by him. So lap 107 here. We're exactly 30 laps, or I'm sorry, we're 27 laps from the halfway point. So that would be probably why you saw the pit stop from Scrupa, was because getting to lap 134 and then pitting. That's my guess there.
Ricky Harden just made his call. He's going to come in from the 5th spot.
Thomas George coming in. Dalton's coming in. A lot of people coming.
Ricky sliding. James Cole coming in behind him.
Tim Johnston. Livingston, Roddenall coming in. Jonathan Lawrence taking the IndyCar style in. Nothing wrong with that. Safe. You know what I think one of the problems is? I was going to bring this up earlier, I never got a chance to, with this pit road entrance. You get people downshifting as they're coming off that banking, and our good friend Wheel Hop will show up. You don't want Wheel Hop. That's why I never shift until I'm down the speed.
Yeah, no, you don't want that wheel hop, and you will get it here. It's like you said, as you come down off that hill, you don't want those tires starting to chatter. That's all it's going to do is send you around.
And probably a good thing that we don't break rear end housings and stuff in iRacing, because if you got one of those wheel hops, that's exactly what would happen.
Yeah, twist off a drive shaft, break a wheel housing, all very, very possible outcomes, but we don't get that here in iRacing. What we do get, though, is the hop and the spin, and that can be just as bad.
Yeah, it's definitely anything pretty. And for those who don't know what wheel hop is, watch a road race, especially with a NASCAR, and just listen to them go down the straightaway and listen to them trying to downshift, and all of a sudden you hear a ba 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 in the rear. That's wheel hopping. Basically, the wheels are bouncing, and it's basically where the gear don't match up with the shift, something of that sort. One car up against the inside wall here. I just spotted. Looks like he's already gone back to pit road. I want to say it was Devin Cannon. Yep,
Well,
it's Devin Cannon. Cannon had issues in turn 2.
Okay, yeah, looking here on screen.
And I heard the motor blow. Oh, yeah, right in the wall in turn 2. Oh, and he put it back in the wall, I think, to miss everybody.
Boy, what a good job right there, cutting it back to the left and not getting up in the racing line.
Norman Peltier on pit road. But yeah, you see a lot of people make that mistake of not... they'll put in the wall and then bounce off, and then here comes a whole pack of cars with momentum, and it can't stop. But he did a good job putting it back in the wall and keeping the caution from coming out here. But we got all sorts of action going on. Jeff Ward still yet to pit. Michael Krolbach, Nick Cohan, Drew Carroll, Yazik, Shipman, Jetty, Jersky, McBride, and Wilco, the only ones not to pit road. So 10 cars on the lead lap, and we got a battle for third. Nick Cohan has caught the 7. Got the fresh tires of Jonathan Lawrence there behind him. I think just trying to be patient with these guys.
Speaking of patient, we talked about Adam Jersky quite a bit this evening. Jersky riding in 8th right now. Chris, working on 53 laps right now in that car.
Yeah, that's definitely a long run right there for Jersky. As this battle, look at it, the fresh tires right here behind him. Thomas George, this right here is an example of fresh tires. Split. Wow. That is Linda Ronstadt action right there. Blue by you and you. I had to get that in.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yeah, fastest car right now on the track. From what I'm seeing, lap time was Norman Peltier last lap on a 27.7. The leader's 29.6. We are about 17 laps from halfway. The question here is, when do these guys come to pit road, and are they even worried about the halfway point? Because right now you're at lap 43. You can go about 10 more laps on fuel, which gets you to 126. Oh, Krobach's in the wall.
Oh, trouble for Krobach. Oh, man. Oh, the car just gets tight.
He spins it to pit road. Let's see if he... I'm waiting to see if he's going to tow or not. He's sitting right now on pit road. Crunches the wall in front area, and he's going to tow it.
Oh, boy. Man, that's going to be so costly for Michael Krobach. Hate to see that for him.
I don't know what that man's got to do to change his luck. Maybe change his number. Hey, that's an idea. But the man's always ran 7. Adam Jersky on pit road getting his tires right now.
Yeah, it looks like Ricky Harden had just gotten a bit of a run on him there. What a shame.
Oh, apparently Krobach saying net code between him and Ricky. So did net code strike Krobach? I wonder if iRacing come out at full speed or something tonight, because it seems like a lot of issues with blinking and net coding happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Michael Krobach coming on the mic and saying that he felt like it was net code, so no fault to Ricky there as far as Michael's concerned.
Now, we got to go look through our list of reasons that Krobach has wrecked this year and see if net code's one of them.
By the way, while that was all going down, Adam Jersky did finally come in for a pit stop, Chris, and he cycles back out and currently sitting in 22nd spot.
Yeah, just waiting on people to cycle through here, and you see the different track positions. Shipman now on pit road to 23. He's the only one in right now. You just see the different strategies happening here. This is what makes this actually part of the fun here, is you get a close-up camera there. Of that 23 right side tires going on. The ghost of Shipman there, changing the tires. Left side's going on, 4-tire fuel, and he pulls out. Meanwhile, up here, you see Josh King with fresh tires. The leader's starting to really get jumped by these fresh tires. The Brigade is going by.
Yeah, the Brigade is definitely going by, and Drew Carroll just couldn't do anything about it as they scream by. Carroll, got to be careful. Here comes Jonathan Lawrence. Got a huge run on him. Watch out.
Ooh, squeeze. Carroll running another wrestling paint scheme tonight, running the Extreme Rules car. I believe they have a pay-per-view coming up, I think this weekend or something, for you wrestling fans. So the leader is still Jeff Ward. He has led so far 64 out of the 122 that's been completed here. We're only 12 laps from the halfway point, or should I say we're already 12 laps from the halfway point. I always think positive. Nick Cohan, he is not far behind. But you notice the trend here, by the way. It's all loud pedal cars that are up here in the front that have not pitted. Jeff Ward, Nick Cohan, Brian Yazik, Drew Carroll, all loud pedal cars. Rhett McBride is a Steel Horse car. Thomas George, Steel Horse, but he did pit, so...
Boy, you said Rhett McBride, and just as you said that, he's struggling coming out of turn 2. A little bit of a tank slapper. He's already got some right side damage on that car. Chris, he's been out here for a while, though. Rhett's been on, 56 laps this time by. So Rhett getting the most out of that.
3 wide off 4, Wilco. Yeesh. That could have been bad. You just get out of the way. Here they come.
Boy, howdy. Oh. Yeah, that
Thomas George passed Rhett McBride. That is actually for the 6th position up here on the front straightaway. The cars with the newer tires are starting to catch the cars on the older tires here for lead lap positions. But now we're really going to see how these strategies work, because you're looking at, I see one car in Rhett McBride, 58 laps on his tires. The leaders with 53. You got Ricky Harden and those guys, 18 laps on their tires. You got 21 on Tommy Ryan, Pancari with 22, and then down here to Jonathan Shipman, who's got 6 laps on his tires. So you're going to have people passing people out here.
Yeah, and Jeff Ward steadily getting passed right now, still our leader of the race. Leader by almost 2.5 seconds off the Nick Cohan.
Got to be trying to get the 134. That's my guess.
Only got 7 laps to go here.
And I'm just looking at lap times. They're up to 32nd laps now, up there in the lead. Dalton, 28.6. He's still a 1.5 seconds faster here. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm still kind of stunned that these guys are going this long on tires. I didn't think they would happen, but hey, more power to them. This is why I don't win races and they do.
All right, now your pit delta is somewhere between about 36 and 37 seconds for the perfect stop, Chris. That's 4 tires and fuel.
Which in the end, you lose about a lap and a half to the leader if you were right behind him, basically. Ward coming off turn 4. Got 6 laps to halfway. I don't hear Ward shutting his engine off, so I'm not sure if these guys are getting good fuel mileage or not, these loud pedal motors.
Well, it's a long way back to Nick Cohan. Still 2 seconds back there.
You got about 1.8 back to Cohan. You got 4.5 back to Carroll. You got 5.7 back to Yazik. Rich Jetty about 9 seconds back. Thomas George 10 seconds back. That's the first guy on tires. The question is, can Thomas George catch Jeff Ward in a matter of 5 laps? Ward's coming out of turn 2 now as Thomas George is entering turn 1. You would think not likely.
Well, George just keeps picking up spots. He just put Rich Jetty down. Now he's got about 3 seconds to Yazik, closing quick.
Tell me this isn't great racing, Sean. This is what makes racing great on iRacing. Rhett McBride coming to pit road. If this is a sign, McBride, I'm just looking for him, 63 laps. So if that's the case, then they can make it.
Yeah, he paid for that, though. That car not looking too good. He had a couple tank slappers there in that run. Definitely cost him some damage, but good job. He's still running, still rolling. Jeff Ward's getting steadily past. Jersky just gets by him.
Yep, Rodden's going to come up on him. Rodden running that motorcycle paint scheme again tonight. That looked twice. Save a life. That motorcycle paint scheme in honor of his uncle. John Wilco making a green flag pit stop here. Wilco is unfortunately struggling. I'm looking for him on the board, actually. Now, Wilco 21st right now as he enters pit road. Brett McBride coming off pit road. And so we're going to be coming up on the final lap of the stage right here. Can Jeff Ward get there? I'm assuming he can. Oh, no, Ward's coming to pit road.
What?
He couldn't make it.
Well, a little dumbfounded right here.
Well, Nick Cohan's going to take the lead here. You wonder if Ward can make it.
Wow.
You got to think about it, though. You can't risk
60
losing
laps.
fuel. I understand.
60 laps, yeah.
Nick Cohan going to come off turn 4. And he's going to make it back to the line, it looks like. So Nick Cohan, the American Fuel Supply halfway leader, makes it on fuel and leads at halfway. Drew Carroll's going to get the 9. Thomas George got past Yazik for 8. And now you hear the pit stops coming.
And you know, I'm going to guess with Ward, just wasn't getting the fuel mileage those guys were because he was out front, not working with anybody. He was just steadily passing cars on track and was probably on a much stronger fuel burn than those behind him.
I do have a very interesting predicament I want to bring up here, and maybe Amjad can get this for us. Can we get back to the pit stop of Jeff Ward's, and I want to see if we can find where Cohan is on the track, because if he crosses the line before Ward does Ward get that position's bonus points on pit road?
No, he didn't. No, he got by first. I was watching my timing and scoring, actually, as that happened.
I'm just curious of that. Because if he's anywhere in the top 10 at that point, then he would get the bonus point. We'll have to look into that. But meanwhile, Thomas George has inherited the lead. And now the question is, when do these guys come to pit road?
We got couple fast cars trying to make it back on track now. Brian Yazik, Drew Carroll coming out together. Yazik's got a dance partner. Shipman getting by them as they come out.
Yeah, those guys coming off from turn 4 right now. Brett Pancari right there in front of Shipman. And you mentioned the 87 Drew Carroll, the 2055 of Brian Yazek, loud pedal guys there. They're making their moves, but you got tire strategies everywhere.
Yep, a lot of strategy being played right. Drew Carroll running oh so close to Shipman. Boy, those two almost making contact again. Early in this race, they were really close to each other.
200 miles officially in the book, Sean, and we have seen a lot of different things happening. As 3 wide through 1 and 2, Johnson, give him room. Wow. Well, now that we've cycled through green flag pit stops, why don't we do this? Why don't we take a quick break real quick and step away and let you guys enjoy the action side by side? We're going to get some water and get our minds back right as we're watching the Global Sim Racing channel. And second wave of green flag pit stops underway. You might have seen them on Global Sim Racing channel side by side. If you haven't, Brett Pancari, Josh Strupa, also Travis McQuiston, and now Tommy Ryan coming down pit road. And I think you're getting ready for Thomas George to be bringing the 24 down pit road here. As a second wave of green flag pit stops, over 60 laps into our run now. And Ryan is in. Here comes Thomas George. I mentioned all four. Here comes a whole wave of cars. Oh, Dalton had to save it again from spinning.
Chris, I'm just amazed at watching the pace of some of these drivers get around this track. I mean, Jeff Ward back up to his old tricks, just back up to second place, and you know, Shipman, about 6.5 seconds up the track, but well, Ward's on better tires right now, about 15 laps better tires, and it's not a question of if, but when. Even though Shipman right now is still pretty fast and running comparable laps, it's just a matter of time here before Ward really, he seems to be getting around everybody pretty easily right now. Oh, and as I say that, oh man, Thomas George starting to push up the track just a bit there in front of Ward, and Ward has to get out of it. It breaks his momentum, and that's definitely going to cost him a lot of time on that lap.
Yeah, still about 5 seconds back, but you got to kind of give a tip of the cap to Shipman. He's been everywhere on the track pretty much. He's been in the grass, missing a wreck. He's gotten the outside wall a couple times, and yet the cat comes back and is still leading here. Just past the halfway mark. We're going to put 150 laps in the book here, but that 23 looking pretty good, but Jeff Ward is hawking him down like Sean with a brisket in the oven. Smoking, that is.
Boy, Cohan, Harden fighting here. It's not a battle for position, but a battle of strategy between the two. It's Harden going to be able to finally get by. Those two had been side by side for about 2 laps.
Hey, Gerald Livingston coming off pit road here. You got Jonathan Lawrence coming off pit road here. But yeah, you look up at Ricky Harden there in the 15. And now back to Livingston just getting himself up to speed, running in 22nd right now. These positions are all jumbled up, so we're just trying to keep track here for you. What's going on. But yeah, Shipman right now with the second most tires. Adam Jersky 35 laps on his right now, and then Shipman with 33. The rest of the guys have 20 or less except for Rhett McBride and John Wilco. This looks like an F1 race. Everybody pitting at different times.
Well, you know, there's 2 cars that are on the same strategy right now, and that's Brian Yazek and Drew Carroll. Those 2 are attached at the hip right now. Their laps are practically identical. They've pit with each other all night. You know, I'm wondering if these 2 have got a little bit something working here together that finds them somewhere near the podium when this race is over, Chris.
I think the whole team does, because Jeff Ward is a part of the same Loud Pedal team. He pitted 2 laps before them. Yeah, it looks like all the Loud Pedal guys are right on that same strategy. But you see Michael Korbach reporting over in chat there saying he had a good run, and pretty much saying, yeah, they knew that we were here tonight. He did a great job running top 5 most of the night until that netcode happened. But yeah, I'm going to throw an idea to Korbach, and obviously he can do whatever he wants here, because as we all are kind of hoping he does well, because he deserves it. Change the number. Change the number next week. Get out of the 7 next week. See what happens. As Shipman comes to pit road. I'm just throwing ideas to him.
Bringing that Chevrolet down, the Fred J. Moyer Chevy coming down into its pit stall. It's a good stop.
I was trying to help you there, Sean.
That's right, they're not insurance, they're plumbing. Okay, that's where we're going with that. I was a little slow to that. Sorry, it's a 400 mile race, or it's a 400 mile race. Boy, I'm getting loopy. Oh no. Oh no.
Somebody get Sean another energy drink. Or 5. The leader is now Jeff Ward. He's got about 8 seconds.
Norman Pelletier with a tank slapper coming out of 4. I had just switched on to him. Oh boy, that was right in front of Justin Rodden. You can see Pelletier get off the turn here. Car just gets wicked right up the track, and he slaps it.
Oof. That's one of those deals where you get caught with your gun out. See what I did there? All right, that's creepy when I see people in our chat talking about how my whispering was scaring people. That's not good. Confirmed, I will not be whispering anymore. I will not be, what's his name? Hayden, I forget his name. The Sixth Sense. I see dead people. I will not be doing that.
Oh.
Great movie. You know, the guy that plays Anakin in the first couple Star Wars movies, anyways. Or the last, whatever you want to call him.
James Grahula, there he is on screen. He's still digging, still fighting. Getting by Jeff Ward. It's going to put Grahula back on the lead lap. The tail end of it now.
Yeah, I'm going to try to update us as much as we can here. Let's look at the standings. Jeff Ward leads. I'll try to get Hamjad here with me, but Jeff Ward leads. Nick Cohan is running second. He's about 7.2 seconds back. Back to third is Brian Yazik. And these are all loud pedal guys, oh, by the way. Fourth position is Drew Carroll, 13 seconds back. He's, as you mentioned, right in the right pocket of Yazik. And then you got Thomas George, 18 seconds back into fifth position. There you see Thomas coming out of turn 4 now. Rich Jetty is up to sixth. Rich about 25 seconds back. And then you got the two cars that just passed the leader. James Grahula, Brett Pancari running 8th and 9th. They are 26 seconds back and on fresh tires. Right behind them, Tyler Dalton. He is 10th. Also 26 seconds back. Right there. As a matter of fact, he's passing Pancari for 9th. And then you got Tommy Ryan, the last car on the lead lap in the 10th position. As of right now, make that 11th. And then now Tim Johnson just got himself back on the lead lap. Tim running in the 12th position. And then the rest of these cars all lap down from Ricky Harden to Rhett McBride. Jonathan Shipman running 15th. Travis McChristian is 16th. Justin Rodden, Norman Peltier, Josh King, Gerald Livingston, John Wilco, Adam Jersky, all one lap down on the field. And then 2 laps back, you got Jonathan Lawrence, and that's it there. And then Matt Murphy 6 laps back, and then everybody else behind the wall. There's a full field rundown for you. Best I could do.
Well, this is a good battle here. Norman Pelletier looking to the inside there. Justin Rodden. This is a battle for position right here.
Yeah, I'm seeing this on my screen. Yeah, battle lap down car, 16th.
Pelletier trying to keep it down there and has to give up a little bit on the pedal. Rodden able to hold on to that spot. Here comes Joshua King rolling through.
Yeah, Thomas George is joining that battle right there behind him. You said, mentioned Josh King. He's got Livingston back there with him.
Yeah, skip right over Thomas George like he wasn't even there at 24. There he is.
How rude. Hey, by the way, I should mention, Sean, we got a special race coming up Tuesday night for these guys. I know normally these guys race every Thursday night, but Tuesday we invite you to come join us 9 o'clock for the All-Star race for the Patriot Fire Cup Series. The Patriot Fire All-Star race, and I think they picked potentially an awesome venue for an All-Star race. The Monza Oval.
What you talking about, Willis?
I'm just telling you what I know.
That's right.
The
The
Monza
All-Star
Oval.
Yeah, on the Monza Oval.
Something just happened to Scrupa.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm not seeing him on track.
I think Scrupa has left the building.
Oh, no. Oh,
Yep.
Josh Scrupa has lost his connection.
Oh, no.
Well,
Oh, the World 400 when aliens attack.
that won't result in any money this evening for Mr. Scrupa, unfortunately. That's going to be a little tough to come back from. I still haven't seen him officially drop from the server, though.
Yeah, which is not good because usually the longer it takes, the longer you're waiting to get back in.
Right, exactly.
Up there he goes, just fell
Yeah,
through,
there it
so
goes,
officially. And of course somebody throws a Honda joke at Josh.
Too
Too soon.
Yeah.
By the way, I couldn't help but read today who Dale Coyne is putting in to Sebastian Bourdais' car for Detroit. And people might know him well from the Haas team, one Esteban Gutierrez.
Oh, really? I hadn't seen that, actually.
I read that today, and my first thought was Esteban kind of had a little bit of a temper with that Haas team. I'm like, I don't know if he can. This is going to be good for him or not.
It's still a really good battle here. Thomas George is digging right now. He's reeling in Brian Yazzie.
Yeah, this
That
is
a big battle for position right here. Oh, got to go to the high side to try and get him.
yeah, he already
Turn,
passed.
buddy.
Yeah, he already got by Drew Carroll, and now he's going to pass Janzik on the high side. Murphy taking his car behind the wall, unfortunately.
And the difference in tires between those two, about 13 laps, actually. And you saw what George was able to do to Yazzie. He really disposed of him there. Yazzie did not help himself right there. Just got a little bit of the wall coming out of turn 2.
And here's where I wish I had Larry McReynolds or somebody, because I'm sitting there while I'm trying to talk and looking at different laps and when everybody pit is. I think Peltier just scraped the wall of 4. But I'm looking to see, like, okay, if you pit at this point, can you get to this point and that kind of thing. That's how I'm feeling. I mean, because right now you're at 97 laps to go. And basically you could pit from here on fuel and go one more stop. But with the tires, I almost say you want to pit two more times probably.
Can you be fast enough at the end of that run to still hang on to a lead? That's, boy, you can dig as hard as you want, but if the tires won't let you go any faster than they're going, you're in a real predicament, aren't you?
Well, I think the loud pedal guys kind of showed earlier you can. You look at Jeff Ward, you look at Cohen, Thomas George, those guys went 60 laps and made it to the halfway. Well, I say Jeff Ward, he didn't make it to halfway, but the rest of them made it to halfway. But we got a battle for P8 on the board here. Let's take a look at that. It's a 4-car battle, I should say. I was about to say James Garula. Jonathan Shipman, no. Tyler, don't caution is out. That changes everything.
Oh, boy, yeah. Justin
Rodden. John Wilco spinning off turn 2 also.
Boy, and it's Rodden making a little bit of contact with Norm Pelletier off the front stretch.
So we got 2 different wrecks. We got Rodden in turn 1, Wilco in the backstretch. We'll take a look at the Rodden wreck. I think this is what brought out the caution.
Oh, boy. And you know who hit Rodden going by? Oh, man. Brian Yazzie. Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah. Boy, Yazzie just plows him as he's trying to go by there.
Did Carroll get a piece of that, too? I saw a red car in there. Oh, yeah. Yazzie had nowhere to go.
You know what? Our director just mentioned
I think he did.
Netcode through him, and I'm looking at the front end of Yazzie's car. A little bit of damage, but certainly not the type of damage you would think you'd pick up on something like that. He may have gotten a little lucky on this one. He is coming down pit lane.
There are some things that Netcode does that's good for you. And this might have been one for not only Drew Carroll, but Brian Yazzie. The leader's on pit road here. We have, for what I'm counting here, 19 on the lead lap.
Yeah, Yazzie may have caught a break. Indeed. He slides into his pit stall. Right side going up. I'm going to watch his time, see if he stays in for any kind of repair here.
Race off pit road. Jeff Ward going to get that. Nick Cohan, Thomas George. Yazzie going to be 4th, so it's a loud pedal 1, 2, and 4 right now, but we got to go get our Lucky Dog Award, and Brutus has been doing all kinds of things in his cage, ready to go out here. Let's put him out. The Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award going to Rhett McBride, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services, Coastal Safety Auditors. And that's JEGS number 2.
I was beginning to wonder if we were going to see Brutus again tonight, man. That was one heck of a run there, Chris. How many laps did you get on that run?
I'm looking right now, as a matter of fact. We went green at lap 81. So we went almost 90 laps. 81 to 171. So exactly 90 laps in a green flag run right there.
Wow.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break like everybody else does, but we're going to go side by side here, and we'll be back with less than 100 laps to go here on the Global Sim Racing channel. And back at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, as we put wraps on this caution here, we went 90 laps of green flag racing, and caution number 6 out for trouble over in turn 1 with Justin Rodden, as we are 2x2 going into turn number 3 and 4. Jeff Ward, Nick Cohan, Thomas George, Brian Yazik, and Tyler Dalton going to be your top 5. We have 17 cars on the lead lap, with Josh King being the last one in the 17th position. And we got some different strategies on our hands, Sean.
Yes, sir. We really do. There's a few different ways you can figure this out, but the start is on. Ward with a good start. Skrupa, Yazik on the outside, already going into 1.
Good clean restart here, and where I go with the strategy line here is the questions we have is the first 6 already single file is the first battle actually outside here. Let's go to the 7th position. Jonathan Shipman, who has been all over the track tonight, has fought his way back into the top 10 and clears Tim Johnson for the 7th position. And look at this, wow, inside on Krahula. What I was going to ask is, do you now split this into 30-lap stages to pit twice and get to the 90 laps that we have left? Or do you go 45, pit once, go to the finish?
Well, I think if you're running good, you just try and go the 45, get your 1 stop, and try and win this thing if you're hooked up.
Tell you what, Shipman is moving inside Tyler Dalton for 6th.
Yeah, and here comes Krahula back there, just behind Dalton.
And Krahula looking pretty good in that 4 car. He has been all quiet tonight. You know what might be the right strategy tonight, Sean? Whatever he does.
And
That's the way it usually goes.
Here comes Tommy Ryan, starting to close the gap on Krahula.
Battle for 2nd to make that for 3rd. Thomas George inside of Yazik.
Yazik giving up a little bit there. Shipman gets by 2.
Yazik, a really good tire manager, though.
Yes, this we know.
And look at Shipman going to 3rd. Somebody put a fire underneath that 23 car.
Got the 21, the 23, and the 24 battling there, Chris.
Where's the 22 at? Ain't 22 anyway.
I know.
Everybody else fairly single files. I look through the field. I don't see any real side-by-side battles here. Just up here in the front, everybody pretty much single file and close together here.
Intense piece of racing going on right now. They come across the line. This group will have 85 laps to go.
85, Sean, 85.
85. Tyler Dalton making a move on Yazik back here. Oh, Shipman makes Shipman contact with Cohan. Cohan not happy about it either.
So Shipman has gone to 2nd. Thomas George to 3rd.
Dalton gets on the inside of Nick Cohan. Cohan going to try and battle with him. James Krahula right back there watching. Now Krahula.
Oh, George and Shipman almost hit.
Spirited battle going
people,
on here.
I'd say so. All this behind, you see Peltier getting out of the way, but all this behind Jeff Ward, who's about a 2nd out in the lead.
Norm's had enough trouble tonight. He didn't want any bit of that.
That was a pretty smart decision on his part. I'm just getting out of the way. Side-by-side battle back here. Tim Johnston under attack from Ricky Hart. Move him up to the 11th position.
Boy, our leader, Jeff Ward, he does this every restart, Chris. Just kind of jumps the field, gets on out to about a second and a half lead, and puts her on cruise control. This battle's still going on, though, between Shipman and Thomas George. George taking the position back here as they get out of turn 2.
Yeah, George takes the position away. Shipman going to ride right there behind him now in third. You wonder if Shipman might have hurt his tires there pushing so hard like he did in the early part of that run, but we'll have to see here. Some close racing. Look at the top.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the top 14 drivers. We're, what, 12 laps into this run, and they're all within 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
Back here, Bakari under attack from Ricky Harden for 10th.
Harden working it right now, trying to get back into this top 10. Going to give it to him across the line, but Bakari not going anywhere. Harden going to get a little help from the 54 here. Tim Johnston in the picture. Now it's Johnston battling back there with Bakari.
And Johnston at USAA car running a special tribute tonight. Bakari running that middle lane, and it's holding kind of strong. He's going to fall back there. Rich Jetty going to try to get him. Bakari falls back in line in the 12th position.
Yeah, and Bakari really, just kind of caught in a spot right there. The car does not look like it's behaving like he wants it to. I think he's getting a little bit of bad air there off of Johnston's car, and Rich Jetty riding up on him there. It's a handful for him right now. He's wheeling it coming off of 4.
I think what you call this turbulence in your world?
Yes.
Travis McChristian, how about him up in the 14th position there? That Windows 10 car, you're right on board with him. He was having a fantastic run last week at Talladega, and it all went south.
Thomas George starting to reel in Jeff Ward just a little bit here up front.
Yeah, he is. It's now about half second or so. George, about a tenth faster that time by. A 28.2 to a 28.338 from Jeff Ward, and also Tyler Dalton at 2.66. So he's also showing some speed there in that 19 car right there behind Shipman. And there's your pick, James Carula running 5th.
Mm-hmm. James really just kind of stayed away from it all tonight, to be honest with you. Now he's honestly, since the beginning of the race, where he started all the way at the back of the pack, he's really kind of run mid-pack. He's just been really lucky. The racing gods have been with him this evening. He's avoided any carnage. The car is spotless. And top 5 run going right now here, which is 75 laps to go across the line.
75 laps to go. We're about to hit that endurance part of this race. The extra 100 that's going to hit the lap 200 mark. When we get there, there'll be uncharted waters for the season here. As Tyler Dalton getting a pretty good run here down the back straightaway on Shipman. Not going to be good enough to get to him, though. You can see Dalton starting to edge in a little bit. Backs out that corner, backs it up there, and he starts moving in mid-corner there. Hey, what, though? I'm looking back here at 6th through about 15th. Looks like a Talladega line.
It does, doesn't it? I was just looking at the same thing. Nick Cohan at the head of that snake, Brian Yazik following him, Drew Carroll, Tommy Ryan, Ricky Harden, Tim Johnston, Brett Bakari, Rich Jetty, Travis McChristian, all the way back to Adam Jersky.
Makes me want to play a game of Centipede.
It does. I don't think any one of them are ready to decide a position either. Yazik trying to claw his way up to the top 5. He's going to have to get through Cohan and do it. He's going to have to get a little faster to catch Cohan. I think Yazik right now just riding. Maybe trying to save a little bit of that rubber.
Yeah, I think most of them are right now because you're coming up. We're lap 20-ish on the run right now for these guys. So the different strategies we're going to see are going to come in starting here in the next 10 laps, I think, because that's when we're going to hit the lap 30 mark. We'll see who comes to pit road at that point, and then we'll see who goes to the lap 45 mark. If anybody does that, we'll have to see how this all goes. But it's going to get very interesting here Again, we've, I don't want to be the guy to jinx it, but I'm a broadcaster. I got to speak the truth here. We've only had one caution in over 100 laps now, so these guys have definitely gotten their feel under them now.
Ricky Harden back here desperately trying to hang on a top 10 spot. He's being hounded by a gaggle of cars. It's Tim Johnston, Kukari, Jetty, all trying to get there. All continuing to put the pressure on Ricky every turn. This one's no different. Looking at back there, Ricky Harden.
Yeah, right on that back bumper. Look at the cool camera view here. Looking back at that Fusion. And Tim, I thought he was going to make the move into one there.
Yeah, he took a peek. Harden, though, with a better run through the turn, able to go ahead and close the door on him.
When was the last time you saw a Charlotte race at 20 laps into a run? Everybody was in 4 seconds of each other. Other than the street stock races, Johnston said, one car got the wall, Jetty back there. But Johnston inside of Ricky Harden.
Yeah, and those two are now in this position being fought for.
It's almost like the first car to pull out of line. But Tim Johnston up to the top 10 again. He's having a fantastic run. Meanwhile, James Carula up to 4th. Got by Tyler Dalton. Carula, the winner of last season's Daytona race, the July race, that went caution-free. Looking to get back in victory lane again tonight.
Yeah, looking for some redemption, isn't he, Chris?
Could say so. He's had his good runs tonight.
Yeah.
Josh King going a lap down in the 35 car, who's had his good runs tonight. You see Tyler Dalton going by him, or Thomas George, I should say. As we are officially in the extra 100 miles, 300 complete out of the 400, lap 201. Premier Racing League's longest night in the Patriot Fire Cup Series, the World 400. You're watching on the Global Sim Racing channel on iRacing Live. We appreciate everybody watching us. If you want to chat with us, feel free to. Had a pretty good cast of characters talking to us earlier, but if you have questions or whatever about the league, feel free to ask. You see Carula, Nick Cohan now up to the 5th position. He's gone by Tyler Dalton.
Tyler Dalton finally starting to slow down for the first time all night. Ooh, Cohan looking to the inside of Carula.
Ooh, they're getting close. Cohan, the Texas winner, looking to go back to victory lane on a mile and a half and win some money, too.
Yeah, from the sound of Carula's radio, it sounds like he maybe misjudged that just a little bit. Cohan able to squeeze by. This is still a great battle for your top 5. Tyler Dalton not done with anything yet.
Yeah, so far, just to review, we have 20 cars on the track still. We have 15 on the lead lap out of the 35 who have started. Those behind the wall: Justin Run, John Wilco, Josh Scrupa, Matt Murphy, Michael Krolbach, Devin Cannon, Troy Haight, Gregory McDougall, Woodrow Mahan, Randy Oakham, Jeff Ryan, Stephen Herring, Jonathan Cadell, Don Runkle Jr., and Calvin Filarski. But Jeff Ward continues to lead. He's led the most laps tonight. So far, 125 out of the 204. Ward last night, or Tuesday night, led the most laps in the Sim Racing App Grand National race, but then a caution came out with less than 10 laps to go. He decided to pit, and in the end, it was not his situation to win, unfortunately, as a quick caution came out right after that.
Well, let's face it, tonight he's been pretty good.
A little bit.
Jeff.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, Jeff having a great run here.
Now, fastest car last time by on the track was Nick Cohan, 29.205. So Cohan definitely showing his wheels here. We're right on board.
Don't mess with the Cohan, baby.
Yes. Cohan coming up on the back of Shipman here.
Oh, Josh King making a big call here.
Here comes the lap 30 mark of this. Actually, we're just past the lap 30 mark. So now we're going to see who does the different strategies here. Because if you pit now, you're planning on one more pit stop, which would be Josh King. Ooh, that's a wild entry. Four tires and fuel on the Oculus car.
And so far, it looks like you're going to be the only one to decide to come in. Everybody's staying out as they go by here.
Yeah, so it looks like everybody's going to go to the 45 lap mark. That's got to be it.
Yeah, and you listen. Ward is clear right now. Our leader Jeff Ward is running well.
Oh, I think Shipman just called the pit road here. Yep, 23 coming to pit road here. And this is with 60 to go. This might be a fuel mileage call right here. The 23 in his stall. I thought he slid through, but he actually got it pretty well. Right side tires on.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good stop here.
I don't see anybody else calling the pit road here. Well, looks like Jonathan Orts, one car coming out pit road, almost spinning it back there. That was Ricky Harden.
Little surprised to see Ricky Harden come down. This is good.
Oh, Lawrence spins it, takes out the cone.
Boy. Yeah, Lawrence trying to get off the track and onto pit lane and nose dives it right into the wall. You're going to see it here on screen. Gets it left and the rear end locks up on him. He goes around, cone, wall, spinning, smoke.
Something tells me the cone's going to want an Extreme Rules match with him. Hashtag Orange Cone on Twitter.
Boy, and Jonathan Lawrence's car does not look good, Chris. Heavy damage to the front end of that Toyota Camry.
Yeah, and we got a battle for second on our hands, by the way. Nick Cohen and Scott Thomas George. Yeah, that part of the wall he hit was not soft, though, by the way. Cohen going underneath here. He's got the run.
He's looking for it.
And will take the lead, second place, I should say. He's the leader of the pack, not named Jeff Ward. So Cohen, can he start catching Jeff Ward? Now we know Shipman's the first guy on new tires. Right now his lap time, 27.855. His last time by. And then Ward ran a 29.6.
Man, this is still a mess back here. Tyler Dalton.
Wow, I'm looking at it right
now. Brian Yazek, Carroll, Johnston. These five cars right now, are any one of them are going to wind up with this position. Question is, who will it be with down 53 laps to go when they hit the stripe? Dalton digging hard down below. Carhula fighting up top. It's a battle for fourth position, Chris.
Yes, the fight is on here. Dalton trying to get underneath Carhula. That high line starting to come to work on these older tires. Yazek up above Drew Carroll. Wow, and here comes Shipman on the fresher tires. He's got to be patient here.
Boy, oh boy.
You can just see, look at the lap difference. Look at this. Pass one, pass two, back from Dalton. It just shows you these fresh tires. It's kind of like driving on the highway and you got that guy just going 90 behind everybody who's going 70. Everybody moves over, you pass him, pass him. Next guy moves over, pass him, pass him.
Oh man, look at this. Tyler Dalton, Brian Yazek hooked up, holding Shipman up. Shipman nowhere to go. He's going to look to the inside. No, he's going to step in line.
Getting close there. Dalton gives him room. I think he was just trying to clear Yazik finally, and he did. And look at that, hurt Dalton's momentum. This is some wild racing. Ricky Harden joining the pack. Here comes those fresh tires.
Boy, and Shipman just blew by James Krahula.
And Ricky Harden's doing the same thing up on the high line. Elevator move on Yazik, up, splits the middle. Seen that before.
Travis McQuistion coming in there in the pit.
Yeah, 93 on pit road right now. McQuistion is in. Brett Pancari's got some heavy damage on the nose, I'm noticing, or is that something with me, maybe? He's got some nose damage for some reason. Pancari. Did he have issues coming on the pit road? He spun.
Oh, boy.
Yep, back end comes around on him.
Yeah. Well, that's tough.
Yeah, that's a tough situation there for the 37. Pancari probably yelling at himself.
Such a good run, but we talked about it, Chris. We said that pit road could be a big factor this evening. It has been. We've seen several incidents down there.
And you get a lot of pressure on these guys. And you're going to start seeing some pit stops here as we have 47 laps to go. We're right at that 45 mark. And you see there's the Pancari wreck. Pancari add to the list of people spinning and hitting that wall right there in fourth.
Ooh, several cars diving off the track now.
Yep.
Here comes Gohan. Man, everybody came down right
Gohan,
there. Thomas
George, Krahula.
Krahula, yep, Johnston.
Tommy Ryan with some
Harden.
nose damage. Or is that me? Yeah, that's me. I'm seeing your screens. Looks clear. Gerald Livingston coming to pit road to 64. And Jeff Warden, the leader's in.
Doesn't look like anybody's messing around on this pit stop here either. It's a full pit stop. They're all peeling away. It's a race off pit road.
Yeah, 4 tires and fuel for everybody. Jeff Ward in his pit stall, 4 tires and fuel for him. And there goes Ward off pit road now as Drew Carroll, Mr. Excitement, coming to pit road.
Now,
I see Rich Jetty on pit road.
You know who has cycled up to lead as a result of all this? We've got Brian Yazik up front. What's he going to do now?
I'm not sure. Yazik here. This is
50 laps.
I mean, he's in the window where he'll go easily the distance from here. Now you wonder if he's going to go as long as he can so he can have as fresh tires as possible, maybe. That's my guess. But you see Yazik going down to turn 1. He is the leader. Brett McBride up to second. And then I believe it's going to cycle to Jonathan Shipman up to third. Just looking to see if... Yeah, Drew Carroll's coming off pit road now, so Shipman will go to third. Some 14 seconds back.
Well, Krahula running with his roommate, his teammate now.
Well, something we don't know.
Getting by Tommy Ryan there, but I got to imagine those two are going to work together right to the very end. They're now both on the same strategy. Come to think of it, they've probably been both on the same strategy since the race started.
Yeah, I'm seeing Yazik coming to pit road now. Here comes the 55. And apparently we have a Ruben Body Kettle fan over in our chat. Even I don't think he spelled his name right.
He did not.
Yazik slides in barely to his pit stall. He almost going over that line. Yazek going to pull away here. 4 tires and fuel, and that'll hand the lead to Rhett McBride in the 2. He is the only car that's yet to pit that's on the lead lap. He is over in turn 1 right now.
Looks like Brian Yazek making his way out from the pit stop. Gets up on track clean. Lots of traffic coming by when he did it. Yazek going to cycle back out to 12th.
Yeah, right
Obviously,
now,
he's good to the end.
Yeah, we got 11 cars on the lead lap. Yeah, pretty much anyone that pitted after 50, well, I want to say 50 to go, but yeah, you look at these guys that pitted a little longer, like Shipman at 60 go. Can he go to the distance on this? That's going to be the million-dollar question here. I don't think he can.
Just when you think you have it all figured out, Chris, they go and change all the questions on you.
I've already thrown my notebook out the window at like lap 10, so it's gone.
Chris,
Sure.
I'm not ready to pat myself on the back, but I did talk about fuel mileage being a factor in this race.
Well, here's the question. Will the fuel win it or the tires win it? This is where we've debated, my friend. And you'll know me, I'm the first one to admit if I'm wrong. Right now, it's coming down to fuel. And the question is when Rhett McBride will pit. I think he's just waiting for a caution, I think is what Rhett's doing. Because he is actually about to get passed by Shipman here in about 7/10 of a second or so. Shipman coming through 3 and 4 right now. He's going to go underneath the 2. And there goes Shipman to the lead. 2:31. This is 36 laps to go. Tyler Dalton going to go by. That Dalton's still a lap down right now. It's Shipman. Ricky Harden is 3rd right now behind Rhett McBride. He'll be the next car to catch him. And then Jeff Ward. Jeff Ward's some 6.8 seconds back right now in the lead. And he has the fresher tires down to this lead bunch.
Tyler Dalton down there trying to get a lap back. He's going to get by Shipman. Again, this is Dalton getting back on the lead lap here.
And I think Rhett McBride's going to be pitting this time. I see him hitting the pitting in button on the screen here. So I think McBride is coming. Now this will leave McBride with the freshest tires out of everybody in the race.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're
that could be an interesting strategy.
Sure could.
Now, I should mention, update real quick, Brett Punkari had the issue spinning on the pit road. He is now 6 laps down and 19th.
Wow.
So he definitely got all the damage fixed there.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yes. The rookies are getting their lumps tonight. So we got pit stops cycled through here, so I think what we should do is we're going to take our final break real quick here, and we'll come back and we'll get you ready for the finish here. So we're going to go side by side on the Global Sim Racing channel. Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the first twist in the race is happening right now. Ricky Harden down on pit road, the 15 car, pitting with 30 laps to go. And
he's
Shipman is
loose.
spinning.
And he's around. Oh.
I think he was coming to pit road.
Yeah, he was.
Shipman loses it trying to get down to speed, and he kept it off the wall. We'll say that.
Wasn't able to catch it, though. Cost himself so much time there.
He'll get his 4 tires and fuel and get out there, but that'll allow Ricky Harden to get past him. And that hands the lead to Jeff Ward now. These are the guys that I think are going to try to go to the finish here. 27 laps to go. Got Jeff Ward leading, Nick Cohan in second, Thomas George in third, James Krahula fourth, and then Tim Johnston fifth. And there's the first car with new tires just passing Tim Johnston, Ricky Harden in the 15 car. Now, what Ricky Harden and Shipman don't want are cautions right now. If they get a caution, it's pretty much done for them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's church. They don't need that. That will not be their friend. Chris, I can't believe we have taken down this race, and I got to be honest with you, fairly short order. Just now, 20. What do we got? About 26 laps to go now.
Yeah, we're 26 to go here. We've had 6 cautions. 4 of them were within a 20-lap period. We had 1 caution early in the race, and then we went a little bit of a green flag run. Then we had 4 cautions within 20 laps. And then we've had 1 caution now in the last, I would say, 150 laps at least. Let me see if I can get an actual number on that. Since lap 81, we've had 1 caution pretty much. So 81 and 243, I don't know how to do math, but that's a lot. If I do the math, that's like 162. One car down on the apron here. John Wilco off the pace. Not sure what's going on with him. She's coming to pit road or what, but Wilco has not had a good night.
No, he hasn't. Oh, boy. Man, that was Joshua King up at the wall as he got by Wilco. Takes that Chevrolet right up to the outer limits. Had to get into the pedal and slow her down. Keep himself off it. There's Josh King on screen right there. Here's the replay.
Yep. 35 to an Oculus car. Unfortunately having some issues with the wall. Meanwhile, going into turn 3 here with, there's where King goes up and scrapes the wall there, turn 3 wise. Gives a little scrape there. Jeff Ward leads right now by 2 seconds over Nick Cohan. You wonder how much Cohan's saving tires here. He's got about a 2-second lead there. Thomas George, some 4 seconds back right now of the leader, and then James Krahula 8 seconds back. The fastest car on the track right now is obviously Ricky Harden, the first guy with the fresh tires now.
Yeah, he's running hard, Chris. He's really starting to put down some pretty fast laps. His last one was a 27.8.
Yeah, that's what you got to do now, because you're pretty much on the tires you have. Go get the best you can out of them.
Yeah, he's about two seconds faster than everybody else right now.
Now, the best thing that can happen to Ricky Harden is he can get to Tyler. Well, Dalton's on the lead lap, so Ricky Harden's the first one lap down right now. The only scenario that could work for these cars that pitted is if Ricky Harden can get up there to Jeff Ward, pass him, get on the lead lap, and then the caution comes out. If that were to happen, then the 2 cars who pitted would get back on the lead lap because of the lucky dog would go to Shipman. But right now, just Ricky Harden would be the lucky dog, and then Shipman would be stuck in a spot where he'd have to take the wave around probably with no tires. or bite the bullet and hope for a caution.
Yeah. Bite the bullet and hope for the best, which would be a caution flag. Oh man, Krahula still hanging on to a fourth place position here, and there comes Jonathan Shipman around the outside.
Yeah, as we mentioned, this is a Fast 5 race. And we do got Nick Cohan in the running for money.
Johnston taking the spot away
Look
from
at that.
Krahula. Yeah.
Timmy Johnston, who running fourth in the summer points right now. That 54 is getting better and better. $18 laps to go in the World 400. And Jeff Ward, who has led 154 of those 250 laps. He's been the dominant guy tonight. And he hold on to score this win. Of course, next week, the All-Star race Tuesday night at Monza. And then they go to the Monza road course on Thursday. I think they took out the first chicane.
Did they?
I think so.
Well, I'm not going. They did that. That's just not any fun.
What do you mean? You go wide open all the way down to the next chicane, don't you? Isn't there 2 chicanes before you get to the next corner? I'm trying to remember.
No,
I'm not the road guy. Where's Sam?
Yeah, no. If you take the first chicane out at Monza, it's one wide open run all the way down to what it would be the first chicane. So that didn't make any sense, did it?
No.
Yeah, I blew that.
It's okay. It's like milking a rooster. Yeah, it's 10-4.
Yeah. This has been a long race.
Cohan's been holding steady, running about the same lap times as Jeff Ward, about 2 seconds off. Now, Ricky Harden is back on the lead lap. He's some 24 seconds back. We are going to have to keep an eye on him. Because right now, he's still about a second or so faster than the leader. Now, with that much time, he would not have enough time to get back to the front. Yazik underneath Drew Carroll. This is for 6th. And he'll take that spot away. So Yazik at 55. He's been saving his tires a little bit, starting to work his way up. Coming up, 12 laps to go next time by here at Charlotte. Rhett McBride slowly going past Thomas George here as he has some fresher tires.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Rhett. Boy, I tell you what, Rhett's had a good race, too. He really has, man. He's up 11 spots, sitting here just outside the top 10. But Rhett is, struggled a little bit, but again, been just good enough here to stay with everybody, and he's going to walk away with this with a pretty good points night here when it's all said and done.
Yeah, Rhett McBride, you mentioned that, running 14th position, so he's got a beaten up car, but he's going to get there to the finish, it appears, as we'll have 10 laps to go as Jeff Ward on the back straightaway here. Ward has been the dominator. He has been one tough guy tonight, leading over 160 laps so far in this race.
I think it's safe to say Jeff Ward likes this track.
Yes, safe to say. Now remember, one thing is Janzik underneath Krahula here for 5th. Now the one thing we mentioned, we should mention, I should say, is the top 5 here will go for the money at Indianapolis later in the season. So who will go to the Brickyard looking for some money later on? Drew Carroll getting a good run on Krahula.
Sure is. Going to get down there inside of him. That is a battle for position.
Ooh, Krahula sat on that door. Ooh, they're both hospital hopping.
9 laps to go. I can't believe we're here. It's like, geez, the end is in sight. Well, honestly though, I mean, we're right now just about at the 2.5 hour mark.
Yeah.
This has been outstanding. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's been a great
400
race.
miles in just 2.5 hours?
It's been a great race. I'm ready for 200 more miles. Let's go 600. Anyone?
Pancari having to pull off the track.
Oh, did he blow up? Because he did hit that nose on pit road. He's holding that speed. No, he's slowing down slow. I don't know. Well, there's no smoke coming out, so he couldn't have blown up. He's getting tires, though. That lead still 2.3 seconds, though, from Jeff Ward back to Nick Cohan, that 21. Now Jonathan Shipman has got his lap back, so this could be really interesting if a caution comes out.
Oh, we don't want that.
No, I'm just pointing it out, though, because then that would give Rhett McBride, let me look at the standings here. That would actually, Rhett McBride would then be the lucky dog. So I'm just pointing out the cases here. But it looks like we're on our way to a pretty historic night here. Matter of fact, this time by we'll hit that point of no return, Sean.
Yes, sir. Going to have, 5 laps to go here.
Yeah, 5 to go. And I should mention, you see it on their comment box there, the Stick with GSRC after this race. Our good buddies are over in the Lionheart Retro Series running their Indy 250 tonight. There's a link down there on the screen you can click to as soon as we're done with interviews and stuff. We'll ship you over to that race that is going on over there.
Yeah, and that's going to be quite a battle indeed itself. They're doing 100 laps in those Lotus 79s, and you do not want to miss that.
No, that's going to be fun. You got Adam Young and Tanner Sharp over there on the call of that race, so that should be fun. But Jeff Ward has crossed the line, 4 laps to go here. He's 3-second lead now, so he has actually stretched it on Nick Cohan. So if it stays the way if it's going to stay like this, then we will see no money winner tonight for the Fast Five.
Boy, and I would have loved to have seen one, but I just never got that feeling it was going to happen tonight. I think it would have taken really something special to pull that off. Jeff Ward has been so strong tonight. Mm-hmm. The Mid-South driver, been the class of the field.
We should send a shout out to Ricky Harden. He is now up to the 9th position and is catching Tommy Ryan potentially for the 8th position here as we have 3 laps to go with those fresher tires.
Yeah, Ricky trying to get just the max out of the car here. It'll be 2 laps to go when he comes across the stripe. Oh, right up in front of the 64 there.
Slider. A little slide job.
We haven't talked about Gerald Livingston much tonight, but he's done one thing really well. He stayed out of everybody's way. The fact that we haven't talked about him is probably a good thing.
White flag, final lap.
Did you say final lap?
I said final lap, pretty much.
I mean, we're about to put 400 miles in the books here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
We are going to put 400 laps in the book, and it's going to be the guy who has dominated tonight. He's going to come off turn 4 and lead 172 of 267 laps. Jeff Ward wins the World 400.
Boy, and Nick Cohan going to take that a solid second. Thomas George with a 3rd place run here tonight.
What a dominating performance for Jeff Ward tonight.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations to him and all the drivers who finished this. What a great race it was. And we're going to talk to the top 3 finishers, and we will review the race, and we'll get you off to Indianapolis. Wouldn't you know, we had a Charlotte Indy double tonight. Nothing new there. But we'll talk to the winners coming up next on the Global Sim Racing channel. back at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as we put a cap on a wild race that saw 181 laps of racing with only one caution in between. That's some pretty good stuff there to finish this race out. And Jeff Ward going to victory lane here tonight. Nick Cohan finishes second, a 1-2 for Loud Pedal Motorsports. Thomas George finishing third. Tim Johnston, another top 5 for him. Brian Yazik finishing 5th.
6th place, going to go to Drew Carroll. 7th, James Krahula. Boy, what a night for him, up 21 spots. Tommy Ryan, 8th. 9th, going to go to Ricky Harden. I see a lot of unacceptable racing drivers in there. Rich Jetty going to finish 10th, and and that's the top 10. Sorry.
Yeah. How about Ricky Harden getting back to 9th with those fresher tires?
Did I skip over Ricky?
No, I think you got him. Tyler Dalton finishing 11th. Jonathan Shipman 12th. Travis McQuiston 13th. Rhett McBride 14th. Adam Jersky 15th. Gerald Livingston, Josh King, Norman Pelletier, Brett Pancari, and Jonathan Lawrence, your top 20.
All right. 21st, John Wilco. Justin Rodden, 22nd. Josh Skrupa. Boy, tough night for Skrupa. 23rd, 24th, Matt Murphy, Michael Krobach. The hard luck Michael Krobach. 25th, 26th, going to go to Devin Cannon. Troy Haight, 27th, 28th, Gregory McDougall. 29th, Woodrow Mahan. Randy Yoakum, going to have to finish 30th tonight. Tough night for Randy. Jeff Ryan, 31st. Stephen Herring, 32nd. 33rd, going to go to Jonathan Goodell. Snoop Doggy Don Runkle, 34th. Calvin Filarski, 35th. And not sure what happened to DJ Beverly, but he never got off the start.
I think he might have gotten stuck in that I-77 traffic that they have every day in that Charlotte area.
Yeah, maybe.
Potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But we're going to go to victory lane here, and I'm sure it's a pretty exciting victory lane right now. Jeff Ward, a driver who took some time off. He dominated Tuesday night. He dominated Tuesday night's race. Unfortunately, did not come with the win, and he showed up tonight and he said, yeah, I think this track owes me one after Tuesday night. Leads 172 laps and wins himself the World 400. Jeff, welcome to victory lane.
Yeah, Chris, man. It's been a long time coming. I'm super pumped about this one. Everything just went right tonight. I mean, I love Charlotte. Right off the get-go there, was able to get out front and kind of set the pace. So, big thanks to all the guys. They were rooting me on there at the end because they know I've had some, a string of bad luck. And this is actually my first win in the Cup Series in PRL. A lot of close calls, but finally turned things around a little bit tonight and got a win. And couldn't ask for a better time to do it at the, pretty much our Coke 600. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a fantastic win, and I'll go ahead and bring this up. People don't get to see this out in the open right now, but Krahula is in the channel with us here, and he's hacking on you saying about time, and I just realized that you two are tied with the wins already with that one win. But anyways, you did a great job tonight. Talk about that long runs. That was obviously the key later in the race, and you had to save your tires, huh?
Yeah, just, I was able to find a good groove, at the beginning where I was kind of pushing, but kind of, trying to be easy coming out of the turns on exit, just keeping the wheel straight. And the car was really good on short runs and long runs. Like I said, that thing was just, felt like it was on rails all night. And, luckily no cautions flew at the end. We've been bitten several times by that. So, mainly in Xfinity, but I'm glad it went green. And, I had teammates around me all night. Congrats to Nick for getting second there. I know he was driving the wheels off of it as well tonight. So, yeah, I was able to hang on there at the end, and that's awesome. Hopefully we can get some momentum here and start winning some races.
Seemed like your loud pedal guys were working together, especially towards halfway. And I got to ask that question. We were kind of curious. Halfway, you came down pit road. Were you out of fuel?
Yeah, I'd charged to the front so hard that I'd burned a little more gas than Nick Cohan and Brian, and I was about one lap short of making. I couldn't even make it to the halfway point there. I think I crossed the line in 5th on pit road. So,
yep.
At least we got half of the bonus points there. But I was going to run out of fuel. I had to pit, but it looks like that was the right thing to do because we was able to maintain first place once it all cycled out. So it worked in our favor still.
Yeah, that's the main important part, is being able to get the win. That gets you more points than that halfway points. So, well, congratulations, Jeff. Send shout out to whoever you like to, buddy.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. Love going back and watching these. Y'all do a great job. Thanks to PRL, James, Brian, Ricky, everybody involved. Thanks to Scott for taking a seat and adminning. I know he loves racing. And would love to have been out there with us. Thanks to friends and family. My dad watches these, so thanks to him.
Well, Jeff, congratulations on your first career win. Go celebrate, and I'm sure you guys are going to be partying all night. But we will see you Tuesday for the All-Star race.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely, Jeff Ward there. Your winner of the World 400 tonight, leading 172 laps. And Sean, I'm sure you got a somewhat happy, somewhat disappointing guy knowing he doesn't have any money coming his way in Nick Cohan.
He didn't have any money coming his way, but he does have second place points in a very, very big race coming his way. Nick, what a great race tonight. You really you laid it all out there in the end. You come up just a little bit short. What was the biggest factor in this race for you and the success you had tonight?
Patience. That was the biggest thing. Sometimes it got a little heated out there, and you just had to keep your composure. And the biggest thing was saving tires, because I did really, really well at that tonight, except the very last run. I tried to dig a little bit harder to stay with Jeff because I knew he was just ridiculously fast in the short run. So I tried to stay with him for the first 10, 15 laps and then save a little bit. But when it got down towards the end of the run there, I just didn't have enough anymore. And congrats to Jeff, man. He drove a great race. That was textbook right there.
Yeah, he really did kind of put on a bit of a clinic this evening. But listen, not a bad night for you either. I know you come up short and don't win any money here in the Fast Five Challenge, but talk about the effort of the team. I mean, you guys just had a dominant evening.
Yeah, we worked really well tonight. That gamble right there in the halfway through, I knew staying out was going to be the way to get the points there. I definitely didn't think pitting early was going to be able to get around quick enough in 20 laps, and it showed, and we all stayed out and did that and earned a lot of points by doing it, so it worked out well. Bummed out we didn't win any money tonight, but I'm just happy I'm going to be going to sleep real soon because I'm really tired.
All right, well, before we let you do that, I guess it's officially unofficial or unofficially official. You are the points leader, leaving Charlotte this evening. So congratulations! Not a bad night at the office.
No, it was a really good points night. We beat everybody we needed to, leading the summer standings and the overall. So that feels really good. Just gotta keep it going because there's a lot of racing left, and a lot of pedal motorsports will be ready.
All right, man, go get yourself to bed. We'll see you next Tuesday at Monza. Get ready to take a little trip over the Atlantic there and go have some fun.
Yep, just shout out all to my LPM teammates and Toyota and you guys for putting on this broadcast because it makes it a lot of fun watching this stuff.
Well, our thanks to Nick Cohan coming in, visiting with us here this evening. Second place, congratulations to him. Chris has caught up with our third place finisher, Thomas George. What a run for him this evening. He saw a lot of action.
Yeah, he did. Thomas, great run for you. And that 24 car started on the pole. And, I mean, outside of pit stops, I don't think you were outside the top 5 all night.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I wanted to win this one. And that last caution bit us, I think. The strategy we were playing, I think we would have won that, but that's racing, right?
That's the way the luck goes sometimes, but that green flag run there, it seemed like you had a long run car. Is that safe to say?
No, not even close.
Oh, well, at least the one run it looked like. I mean, because I know the one time you caught Jeff mid-part of the race, and I'm like, okay, well, he's got a pretty good long run car, but I know in the early part of the race, it seemed like you took off and it was gone.
Yeah, it seems like this year and last year, can't find any real long run speed. I don't know what's going on with the car itself, but I was trying to be easy off the throttle and on the throttle, and I don't know where I'm going wrong with it. That's why I had to run the strategy I did, and hope that no cautions came out. And yeah, I'm not trying to sound disappointed. I'm not. It's a good run, but you sit on the pole, you think, you're going to have a chance to win, and then you kind of realize midway through the race you got to do something different because it's not going to be a race-winning car. And I don't want to say it sucks. It's a good run, but compared to last week, this week I felt like there was something missing. I'm not sure what it was, but to be up front and to get a top 3 with the car that we did have is still really good. You just have to take it next week to Monza or wherever the heck we're going for the next, I guess, the Japanese tour, we'll call it, or European. It seems like that's what it is, but it. Like I said, I'm not trying to sound like a Kyle Busch. I'm not. I can take running third. Sometimes it's just how it goes. But good job on Jeff. He's been way worse than I have this year. He can't talk. Yeah, he definitely deserves a win. And Nick, well, he's got to win. So I was trying to chase him down for second if I could, and those two were better than I was on the long run. So I just did what I could.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being disappointed in third. That just shows how much you want it, and there's nothing totally wrong with that. So, great run on your part, Thomas, and send a shout-out whoever you want to, bud.
Well, just a shout-out to everybody that watches, you guys for doing the broadcast. Admins, even though they did yell at me midway through the race for voicing something, but that's a whole nother thing. That's my fault for opening my mouth. And, of course, everybody over at Steel Horse that makes these cars. They're always fast. We're going to get one soon. Just got to play the cards right.
Thomas, in fairness, it happens to me every time we go to commercial too, so it's okay.
Chris, can I ask Thomas something real quick?
Yes.
Thomas, what do you think about Jeff Ward winning the race? I'm sorry, I had to. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Thomas, we'll give you 5 minutes with Sean after the race. Anyways, congratulations on your third, and we'll talk soon.
All right, I expect that 5 minutes. I expect a baseball bat with it.
Ooh, 10-4.
Jersey boy over here.
What size do you want, Air? I got you, buddy. We'll get him out there by the airport, right, JFK?
Give me a classic Louisville Slugger. That'll work.
10-4. All right, nice job.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas, a lot. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Oh, you asked for it.
It's not that far from Jersey to Long Island, Sean. Just saying. Anyways,
hey, yeah, I know.
Thomas George, a third-place run for him this evening. Sean, we're going to get off the air here because we all get up early in the morning, but.
Hey, yeah, we've got an exclusive. Do you want to break this news, or can I? Or James, you're in here. You break the announcement. Go.
Oh God, I'm not ready. All right, well,
well, you typed it.
Well,
I'm seeing it.
As y'all know, we're racing on Tuesday and Thursday next week, so come join us for our exhibition event on Tuesday. We're going to run the Monza Oval before we take the to the road course there on Thursday for our next round in the event. But we're going to give $20 to the winner of Monza on Tuesday and $10 to the driver that finishes the highest in the standings with 0 incidents.
Okay, now I have a question. On Tuesday, we're running the left-turning oval at Monza, just the oval, right?
Yes, just the oval.
Okay. All right,
yep,
I just want to make sure it was clear on that.
Yep, no, that we'll have fun. We'll go out there, and the guys are mad that I'm taking them to an Italian road course when we're going outside the States, but I don't care. We're going to be in Italy and then Japan for the 2 weeks after that. So I thought, the oval will probably be fun, at least something a little bit different, or it's going to be a giant mess. Either way, we'll have a lot of fun doing it.
Well, either way, it's going to be a fun Tuesday night and fun 2 weeks at Monza, or 2 days.
If I could interrupt again.
Yes.
Y'all get over there and y'all watch the end of this retro race on GSRC right now. It is one heck of a race.
Okay.
The longer you talk, that keeps us on the air, James. It's kind of a catch-22 here. Anyways, thanks, James, for your time.
Goodbye.
So, anyways, all right, let's just go. But Sean, final thoughts, and we'll get everybody off the air.
Final thoughts. We need to get on over to that Lionheart Retro race. No, it was a great race tonight. It really was. It was a great race tonight, and so happy to be part of this series. Can't wait to get to the left-turning oval next Tuesday at Monza. That's going to be a blast.
All right. We're going to go. Special thanks to the Premier Racing League for putting on the Patriot Fire Cup Series, and I'll even do a speed read, they call this in radio. Also, thanks to the software and hardware that they use for our broadcast that you can see listed on your screen. Also, thanks to our musical contributors, Eric Eckholm and Casey Lalonde, whose music you can find at the websites listed. For more information about future races, you can see the list on the screen, or go to globalsimracingchannel.com, where you can check out the past broadcast and check on the current schedule or events. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel. Next time we'll be on the air for the Premier Racing League Tuesday night for the All-Star Race at Monza's Oval. That's going to be a fun one. We hope to see you at 9 o'clock Tuesday. Congrats to our winner, Jeff Ward. For Dougie Beard, I'm Jed Yaman, Sean Ambrose. I'm Chris Scala. Race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track. Stay on.